I had the mic on mute, doing all of that talking. But peace and greetings, everyone. Welcome on in. How are we all doing? Can you all hear me now? I think you can hear me now. I had the mic on milk, milk and cookies. I see that. Okay, so you can hear me now. Welcome in. How are you all feeling? How are you all doing? How's it going? Yeah. Ah. What a week. How are you feeling? Thank you all for checking in. Welcome on in, Michelle. Good to see you. Nab, the creator, is in the building. Southern Sweet Soul. I love that name. Sanjay, welcome in. Gold Leaf is here. Rosalie is here. Gas Draws is here. Taylor is in the building. Taylor said Taylor is in the building. Welcome on in. How are you all feeling? Let me know where you're tuning in from, where you're checking in from. Alori, welcome in. Minga Lee, welcome in. Huey Griffin, Hugh Williams, which is Griffin, welcome on in. Let me know where you all are tuning in from. Let me know what part of the world, what part of the country. Crystal is in the building. Welcome, Crystal, tuning in from my birth city, Brooklyn, New York. Welcome on in. Brittany Vibes is in the building. Good to see you. Nicole Woods is here. Welcome on in. You guys it's moving so fast. Tremel is in the building representing Florida. Gold Leaf is representing Georgia. Gasdraw, South Carolina. Michelle D is hanging out in NC, North Carolina. Taylor is in the ATL. Southern Sweet Soul is Little Rock, Arkansas. Nicole Woods is representing. Oh, you in the Dallas Fort Worth area. You're in Fort Worth. Okay. Melbourne, Florida is here. Rosalie is checking in from sunny Southern California. I love that. Sound, Mind, Body, Divine. Venice Beach by way of Crenshaw in the house. I love it. Brittany Vibes representing Durham. Queen Brown Sugar, come through with them names. Come through. Isabella is here. Isabella, welcome on in. Good to see you. Isabella said, thank you so much for the futuristic, magical empowerment messages. And boy, have I been sending out a lot. So for those of you who are part of the futuristic program, you know, I have been sending out so many messages. Oh my goodness. Queen Brown Sugar is representing Maryland. Huey Williams representing Kingston, Jamaica. Griffin, what go on? And Christine is here. Is that Columbus, Ohio? Jazz, is that how you say it? Says howdy from Columbus, Ohio. Naturally Nurtured, representing Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Welcome on in. Child of Prophecy is representing the cosmos. Welcome on in. Yeah, welcome on in. True to the A. Ooh, I love that. Is Zazzy. Zaz? Zaya? Oh, I don't know how to say it. Boss Lady Dominique is representing Mint Hill, North Carolina. I don't think I know where Mint Hill, North Carolina is. I know where Rocky Mountain, North Carolina is, but Mint Hill sounds like a beautiful place. Of course. Of course. Dom Money representing Texas. We got Texas in the building. Welcome on in. Quan, Milk and Cookies. Quan. Alchemist Empress is in the building. Good to see you, sis. Welcome on in. Listen, we got some things to talk about. By the way, happy Happy new moon. Happy new moon. Happy new moon, you guys. How are we all feeling with the new moon? Free Society Beats. Welcome on in, Free Society Beats. Always good to see you representing Connecticut. Yeah, representing Connecticut. Happy new moon. How are we feeling about this energy? Glennis is representing Trinidad, is in the building. All of our international listeners, so good to have you all join us. And if anyone is new, please let us know if you are new and this is your very first time listening. Definitely want to shout you out as well and welcome you on in. But happy new moon. How are we feeling about this new moon? Welcome in, Brenda. Brenda LJ. Welcome in. Welcome on in. Priestess Donna Lee. Welcome on in. She says, amazing energy. I love it. Absolutely. Amazing energy is so correct. So correct. Well, we're going to talk about that as well as talk about the eclipse season because we got the eclipse season happening. Paige Harris says, feeling great, receiving so many downloads. The downloads are coming in, baby. Download, 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 download. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those likes up. Marjorie, I didn't even see you slip in, Marjorie. Good to see you. What a week. What a week. I got a lot of things that we're going to be covering here. Um, you can do this. It's up to you if you want to do this. I would encourage you to get a pen and a piece of paper to take some notes because you will be getting downloads during this show. And I don't want you to trust your mind to remember. I want you to write down these downloads that you're going to get. In fact, this whole show is going to be filled with activation. And so if you stumbled upon, if you happen to be tuning in to this broadcast here live, then yeah, whether you are joining us here live right now for the very first time, or if you have traveled from the past to be with us at this current time, such as now, if you've joined us now from this current time, or if you came from the future to just remind us of this present moment, or if you're live with us now, um, welcome on in to the seen and the unseen. So good to have you. Brittany S. is in the building. Kevin Wise is here. Cosmic Love is in the building. Good to see you. Love that name, Cosmic Love. Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about. A lot of things that are going on. By the way, I want to give a big shout out to everyone who is celebrating a born day today. Everyone's celebrating a born day today, and everyone's celebrating a born day during the month of February. We have a few more days in February, and we're going to be moving into March, which is going to be some incredible energy, some incredible frequencies. We have entered into eclipse season, pretty much. You can say that. Really, this activation, we got alignments that are happening that haven't happened in over 300 years, other alignments that we have not had happen since 77 years ago. So that would have been another lifetime for many of us here. I would dare to say just about all of us here. It was another lifetime. Now, I did put some questions up on IG, on Instagram, and you guys have been sending me all kinds of things. I told you shit was going to get real. In my predictions video, things are coming out of the water, coming out of the sky. We are having new discoveries of species, things that I've talked about, and all kinds of things are happening. But in the midst of that, um, it's some things that I want us to kind of get out the way right now. And in the midst of the things that I want to talk about right now, I first want to do this. I want to send so much love out to our ancestors. The ancestors are heavy on the planet at this time. And I know for those of you who have been doing the work, we know that we can speak with the ancestors at any given time. Y'all give me a minute. I don't know why my camera, I don't know why it looks like this. Oh, I know why. Never mind. I know why. I don't have to move my desk around. I know why. I just feel like it's cutting me off so deeply here, but it may be because I have this on. So let me see something here for a minute. I got to get myself together. Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's a little better. So, but I want to send love out to our ancestors. And it's important for us to acknowledge them every single day. Really, us being the very best versions of ourselves is the way that we are acknowledging our ancestors. And I want us all to know that, right? Because if you wiggle your fingers in front of you like this is how close the spirit world is. It is literally that close to you. That's how close the spirit world is. You are walking between dimensions and portals everywhere you go. Every single where you go, you are walking between dimensions. Literally, you are crossing timelines, you are quantum leaping, you are doing all of that incredible stuff. So know that you are honoring your ancestors every day that you are breathing and that you are showing up for you. Your ancestors are coming through. Now, for those of you who are part of the futuristic class, we've been doing some heavy work and we've been making these connecting points with the ancestors in our day to day flow, in our Cloud9 flow, in our practice, and also in the messages that I've been sending out to you. So you know exactly. Now, on today, and I want to just kind of take a collective vibe off of this, and you all let me know how this resonates with you. So I got a download a couple of days ago of who came through. And these are going to be feminine energy of our ancestors. Very, very heavy today, this weekend, and all the way up until we get to about the 12th of March are going to be female ancestors that are coming through heavy. They're coming through heavy and they're coming through with messages. So if you're getting this, and some of you have been reaching out to some of your ancestors that perhaps maybe when you were born, they had already made it to the ancestor realm and you wasn't able to make a connection with them. Yeah, Brittany says, yes, been feeling it very heavy. Yes, this is what you're picking up. Take notes, listen very closely. You want to keep something close by your bed so you can write down these downloads, these push thoughts that you get. If you get sort of someone that is sort of an elder or someone who is like a grandmother figure, that maybe you're in the grocery store and they walk up to you and smile and just kind of give you a word. I want you to know that this is that lineage of ancestors coming through, and they're coming through with this message. It's a reason for why the divine feminine is coming through very heavy. And some of you were maybe feeling the need. Christine said, I was just doing some deep dive on my ancestors earlier. Yes, because you can feel their presence. And so these are activations because they're getting you ready for this activation. Because much of what is going to be happening through this whole eclipse season, one of the things that is going to be key is that we have to be open to receive, to be able to receive. And I'm going to talk about that in great detail. I want to talk about that in great detail. Lola said, yes, me too, Miss Blue. My father came through this week. Beautiful. Fathers are going to come through, which they come through all the time. But I'm telling you right now, it is time for the feminine ancestors for both men and for women, because you have just gone through the first integration of your rebirth process. Now, I'm going to let you all in on a little bit of sort of something that I haven't shared with the public. But for those of you who are a part of the futuristic program, um, I'm going to share this part because it's important for all of us here. I sent a message out, and those of you tell me if you received this message. And I told you your old identity had expired. That message was yesterday, day before yesterday. Do you remember that? If you're a part of that, if you received that, I told you your old identity has expired. And I want to talk about what that means. That was yesterday. Thank you, Marjorie. Your old identity, who you are, has expired, and you have not received your new ID yet. Listen, I know what you're thinking. You thinking, yes, I have. No, you haven't. You haven't got your new identity yet. So if you're feeling in this space, in between this energy, where there's a part of you that is very grounded, right? By the way, shouts out to everyone who purchased the gravity magic. But you are feeling very grounded right now. You are feeling very inspired right now. You're feeling very highly motivated right now, energetic or charged right now, or just like you got your second win. Anybody who's ever ran track, I used to run track when I was in high school, like middle school and high school. And sometimes, when you're running, it used to happen a lot when I was practicing and we'd be running. And I feel like I was so exhausted. And then all of a sudden, it's like I catch a second win. I don't catch a lot of second win running. Running now, but I used to catch a lot of second wins, and it was just like I wasn't tired, like it went away, and I just took off. You're in your second win. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to take all of that energy in and harness it. Harness it like you are running a marathon and not a race. Does that make sense? Because as we move into this eclipse season, it's not about forcing, it's about going with the flow, right? We are going with the flow. We are birthing who we imagine ourselves to be through our actions, through our deeds, through our integrity from the last, I want to say the last 3 or 4 years, right? For most of us who have been doing the work for the last 3 or 4 years, we are birthing who we wanted to be 3 or 4 years ago. Does that make sense? I gave you all some timelines. Welcome on in, Lola Falana. Welcome on in, Kay Simone. Welcome on in, Maya Dye, Ashlyn. Welcome on in, Cynthia McKinney, welcome on in. Maria, welcome on in to everyone who's joining. But do you all remember that? Do you all remember that? So you are birthing, you're in the process of birthing that, but in this process of you birthing you, here's something. And if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm not used to looking at the camera. So I'm going to get used to looking at the camera. What happened during that transition? You realize who you thought you wanted to be 2005, 2007, 2012, 2017, baby. All bets are off. You don't want that no more. You want something greater for yourself. Tell me if anyone can say that you realized that you were kind of sleeping on yourself, and now you want something even greater than what you was even thinking in 2005, 2007, 2012, 2017. You want something greater for yourself. You know, I see here someone just said something. Let me pull that up because I it's important that that I get you guys is to talk about this. Uh 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 Child of Prophecy says they wanted to be original. Whatever that quest is, Christine says absolutely. Minga says yes. Brenda says yes. Isabella says absolutely. Nisa says I slept on myself. Yes. Brittany Vise says yes. I was definitely sleeping on myself. So I think we all can attest to we were sleeping on ourselves. So this is why I say right now, you are being reborn, but the process is not done. The process is not done. What you're feeling is that you are getting close to labor, hence the reason why the divine feminine in our ancestors are showing up. And they're showing up to really, really give you the keys of making it through this birthing period, this rebirth, right? This massive reset, because this is an internal reset. It's an internal reset. That's why the divine feminines are showing up to bring you this message. It has nothing to do with your gender here or how you identify yourself here. It has nothing to do with that. We're talking energetics here. Yeah, Tremel, I love this. Tremel said, so the water's about to break. Absolutely. I want you to think about that. In fact, I was doing some work with a client and Mama Waters. Mama Waters came through. And you know, the waters itself brings about this cleansing, it brings about this birthing, it brings about this reset of knowledge, of information, of transformation. So hold that thought. I don't want to get lost in I don't want to get lost in that because we got a lot to cover and I got some things I want to share with you all. But I want to say welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here in this live. Let me see if I can uh, get this together here. I want to get this together here so that we can yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to get this together here. And so we're going to get this together. So this is what we're going to be talking about. You know, a lot of people have a lot of things to say about the eclipse and what's going to happen during this eclipse, but I'm going to share something with you all that that many are not talking about. It's a lot of fear that is being sort of perpetuated on the planet at this time with this eclipse. But I'm going to share some things with you that I channeled and that came in and give you another dimension, another way of looking at this eclipse. Now, many of you may remember when I was making the magical spiritual bath kit, and I did the Great Awakening. And that great awakening bath, how many of you actually had a chance because it was limited edition to purchase one of the great awakenings? I think out of all of the kits, that was one of the ones that were like a top seller. Like you guys loved it so much. And it had the bull in there, because at that particular time we were in the year of the bull, which is so interesting because Taurus is going to be playing a major role and everything that is happening in this eclipse. And it had this blue, beautiful, magical dust, the sand that was in there, and it had the frankincense and the myrrh. In that smell of it that was in there. And it also had the rose petals and the gold coins and all of this. Well, that's what this immediately reminded me of, and the inspiration behind the title of the energy of the share that I'm giving to you at this time. The Great Eclipse Awakening, the new moon portal into power and purpose. I think this is so important because we are stepping through a portal. But unlike many of the other portals that we step into and out of all the time, we're not coming back to the portal we're stepping through. And unlike some of the other portals, because I sent this out on the futuristic text line, many of you know, because we actually tapped in on that day that the portal first opened. And so we were able to kind of make our decision and jump through the portal. Now, whether you took that calling and went through the portal or not, it doesn't matter because all of humanity that is on the planet is going to be forced to go through the portal. The difference is, are you walking through the portal with power and purpose? And this is what I want us to do so we can keep raising the frequency here in chat. If you are walking through the portal with power and purpose, I want you to type power and purpose in chat. So we can put this frequency out into the universe right now that we are walking through this portal with power and with purpose. With power and with purpose. And on this day, a 28 day, this day right here on the 28th is a day that is filled with lots of abundance. It carries a lot of energy, believe it or not, that is connected with Pluto and Jupiter and Venus and the planet Earth. And the reason I'll tell you this, in numerology, there is some magic on this day of the 28th. And so this is why I'm telling you all this show right here is an activation. So make sure you have a pin before the clock strikes the 29th. No matter where you are in the world, you will have 3 days after. So if you're not listening to this live 3 days after, you can still do this if you get this in the downloads. I need you to write down those things that you desire, those things, and not just anything, those things that you struggle with. The things that you struggle with that you have been attempting to overcome, you have been attempting to unleash from yourself, you have been attempting to transform this from yourself, whether it's finance, whether it's relationships, whether it's bad habits, whether it's an addiction, whether it's depression, whether it's anger issues, whether it's self defeating thoughts, whether it's, feeling like you don't belong or not finding your tribe, or you want to connect more with your purpose, I want you to write these things down. Write them down on this day, on the 28th. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of rituals. Some of them may seem a little controversial. So I will just tell you tonight's show is not for the babies, right? Is not for the babies, and not for the faint at heart. We will get to those. I'm going to get all of this information out. We're going to move through this, and I'm going to give you guys the information that you need for this activation here. For this activation here, so we can take this with us and we can begin to move forward. So, what I want you to understand is that how can I say this? This is not just a shift. This is really a realignment. It's a realignment. And also, here's another thing. If you need to correct a wrong, listen at me closely. If you need to correct a wrong with someone in your life, you will know, because it will have came to you over the last 5 days within a dream. You might have heard a song and became extremely nostalgic. You might have woke up with this on your heart. You might have been driving and all of a sudden the thought came to you. You could have been working and out of the blue, no pun intended, this thought would have came to you, and something is asking you to call someone, send an email to someone, speak to someone, and really say you're sorry, to offer up your understanding for a misunderstood situation, or somewhere you know that you participated in doing something wrong. Now, hear me out. I'm not telling anyone to put themselves in danger. I'm not telling you to do that. Uh, but I am telling you, if you feel this calling, do not hesitate. Do it. Do it. Even if the calling is for you to tell yourself, right? But we're not going to be self absorbed in our egos. This doesn't have anything to do with your ego. This is something outside of your ego. Now, for those of you who are part of the futuristic activation, you know that I've already given you that nudge for you to do this already, but only if it's on your heart and only if you really mean it. Only if you really mean it. Only if you really feel it in your heart that you honestly do it to release that. So many times we talk about, and this is something that has been spiritually known by the mystics and ancients for a very, very long time and across cultures. There is time where there is a massive reset that is hit. And sometimes the reset takes us back to a restore point. And then there's other times when the reset completely wipes everything clear. And that's ultimately what is happening. Things are being wiped clear, wiped clear of what karma is. Remember, karma isn't bad, it isn't good. It is what you have put out and what you will receive back. It is time, but this requires action. It's not an intellectual thought. This is real action. Like, you really have to do the work. You can't fool the universe. You really have to do this work. This is soul work for real. This is knowing your magic. And it's an opportunity that if you are doing something that is not going in your best interest, or you know is wrong in your heart, that you stop. That you stop. I'm not talking about someone else's morals. I'm talking about you, your personal understanding of yourself and your soul, because that's all that counts. This isn't about what someone else's thought of right and wrong is. It's about, because we are all being held accountable to what we live by. What they say, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? So take that in, right? As we continue. And the other thing, anytime we have these major portals like this, we know, we know that there's going to be people leaving the planet. And so that's another reason why I say, if there's something you need to say to someone, not just in an apology, but maybe in love, maybe in gratitude, family member, friend, soul family, a coworker, a neighbor, say it. Because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. And there will be people who are leaving souls, the planet, during this massive, great eclipse awakening. And the portal is open. The portal is open. And there will be souls that will be making their transition during this opening of this powerful portal. And so I just kind of want to touch on that just a little bit there. All right. So let's keep going, because I got a lot of stuff to cover that I want to share with you guys. So the other thing is, know that you're being positioned for something greater, greater than ever before. All of us are. We really are. And by the end of this, you will be fully activated and ready to move forward. You understand? And so I just kind of want to share that. I want to share that. Yeah. You're going to be fully activated by the time we get out of here. So, the other thing that I want to talk about, again, you are being positioned for something greater. And I know you can feel it. I know you can feel it, even if you don't know what it is. Even if you say, I don't know. I know the world looks extremely crazy right now from the outside looking in. It looks incredibly crazy and chaotic. And that's okay. That's okay. Because what's most important is that you stay tuned in, but tuned out at the same time. So you have to be aware, but I want you to stay tuned out at the same time. At the same time. And we'll talk about some of the ways to do that, because you are being positioned for something so much greater. So much greater. So the universe is aligning you. So what's happening for all of us right now, we are being brought into alignment. We are being brought into an alignment. And this alignment that we're being brought in is based on our divine blueprint. And, the interesting thing is, with the divine blueprint, you may or may not know all of your blueprint. I want you to think of a blueprint. It's almost like looking at your GPS. And when you're looking at your GPS in the car, sometimes you have to open it up and spread it out to see what's ahead. You generally only get to see so far ahead of where you are. You understand of how far you are. So everyone who's on the planet at this particular time, the eclipse, this eclipse that we're going through right now, it's a faded gateway. So what do I mean with this? That means that you knew, your soul, your higher self knew when you came to the planet that you would be alive during this time to walk through this gateway. So this is fated. There was a conversation and quite a few that people have hit me up with things on the planet about a lot of people talking about, yeah, we're ready to go. We're ready to go off. We're ready to leave here and go to another planet, another dimension, another place. And I want to give you something else to think about this when it comes to this, because it's a lot of information out there. Don't forget that we have the planet of Neptune, of delusion that's happening. Things are going to get so incredible, insane, and wacky. You're going to think you're watching a sci fi movie. You're literally going to think you are on another planet and you're watching a sci fi movie. Do not get tricked. I want you to do a little bit of history for me, because if you go way back, we've had this cycle on the planet before. And we're coming into more of spirituality. So we're getting another wave of spirituality with all of this energy, with so much happening in Pisces and so much happening in Aries. And these eclipse is happening at Aries, which is the beginning of the zodiac sign, and Pisces, which is the end. So really what we have right here is the alpha and the omega, right? The alpha being Aries. When we get to Aries, that is the massive new beginnings. This is creation in itself. And then we are going to go to Pisces, which represents the end, the closing out of, right? So we have alpha and omega happening. I am that I am, that's happening. So we are coming into a new understanding of spirituality and what that means for us on the planet at this time. And you're going to have, anytime this happens, you're going to have a lot of cults that start emerging themselves, just like they had cults in other times. What was the group that put on the Nikes and the black sweatsuits and they drank the juice? The ones that went to Africa with Jim Jones. And, you had these different cults that came up and they were going to ride the tail of the comet when the comet came by. So you're going to start seeing a lot of this kind of talk of we are preparing to go to another dimension. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm just letting you know that ain't how it works. That's not how it works. You're not going to be able to put on some Adidas and a black hoodie and catch a comet and be in another dimension. Well, I guess technically you would. You will be in another dimension, but probably not how you think. Earth is not a punishment, or shall I say, it doesn't have to be a punishment. It doesn't have to be. So, this is what our ancestors and the ancients speak about. Can you bring heaven down to earth? Because by all definitions, hell is here too. Everything exists here. We are in the lower dimensions. We get that. But what happens when God takes over hell? What happens? Do you know what happens when God comes to hell? Is it still hell? By your understanding of what you think about Earth God. I'm not talking about the source. Earth's God, when it comes down, it's no longer hell. It can't be, because the creator is there. So if you are the walking, living creator, then who gets to decide what is hell and what is heaven? Who's creating the hell and who's creating the heaven? Because we will always have people on the planet that will be living in different states of consciousness of hell and heaven. Always. Earth is designed that way. It is designed for all of this to exist here. Do I think we will move to a place, time, when all of Earth will be heaven? No, it's not designed that way. It's not, because this is where you have the ability to activate your free will. And if we're going to say that this is a simulation based off of the false matrix of the mind, then the creation is coming from the being. The being is feeding this into the false matrix. And wherever you're vibrating and feeding that frequency, then that is the dimension that you will live in and you will be held captive in, or you will be able to own dominion over into that dimension. So this eclipse is a faded gateway. So we're going to be talking about here, how can you keep that same energy? Because this is what I have been coaching all of us through, for those of you who are part of the futuristic activation course. And by the way, yes, am I doing a shameless plug? I don't know if you call it that, but I'm giving out some good ish, right? Where I am helping you, reminding you to keep that same energy, because it is important that you keep that energy, because where you are at is where you're going to end up. When the shift occurs, when things settle, you know how they say when the dust settles, that is going to be the vibration that you land in. When you want somebody to say, hey, wait a minute, remember you said, not what Ms.Blue said, not what your mama said, not what your daddy said, not what your man said, not what your woman said, not what the people around you said. What did you say that you were going to do? So this is important. So what's the significance of this new moon? It's a fresh start, but hold that thought. Hold that thought. Don't take off running, not too fast. It's a fresh start. It's like you're in the block and you're waiting for the gun to say, go. This is a manifestation acceleration, because here in a few days, your new ID will upload in your avatar. And it's time to go. You're going to know when it hits you, because you will have a whole cosmic DNA explosion. You will have a DNA orgasm that will explode in your being. And you're going to know. You're going to know. You are going to know. You're going to know. You're going to know where it is. You are going to know. You're going to know. It's going to hit you and you're not going to be able to shake it. It's going to hit you, because this is not any kind of upgrade. Dare I say, this is once in probably 5 or 6 lifetime upgrade. So this is why you have to set not just any intention. You have to set your highest intention, not any intention, your highest. This is where I want you to get a little delulu. Get a little delulu. Get a little delulu. Get delulu. I thought I seen King Simon come in the building. I thought I seen him. I was going, oh, there he is. Yes. Welcome on in, King Simon. Brother, doing amazing work. Good to see you. Good to have you here. And welcome in to everyone who's joining us as well. Black Gold in the building. Good to see you. Kismet, good to see you. I just got to stop for a minute. Brother man, good to see you. Priestess Nadra, good to see you. Who else? I think Priestess Keisha is here too. I've seen quite a few of you guys come on in. April DeCrystal is here. Gotti, I don't know if I gave you a shout out, is here. But King King Low Fitness, yeah, is here. But yeah, this is where you got to be a little delulu. You got to be a little delulu for yourself. You're not going to act on that delulu, not just yet, but you have to be a little delulu because I need you. Listen, I need these intentions to be your highest, to be your highest intention. You know how they say good, better, best in business school? They teach you about good, better, best. I need you to go beyond all of that. Go beyond what you think the best thing that can happen to you. What is the best thing that can happen to you in this lifetime? Right now, in this moment of your life, what would be the best thing that could happen? You know, we often think about what is the worst thing that can happen, and we entertain that. You don't want to entertain that because you will be coding your DNA with that. You will be coding your Kundalini energy with that. And you don't want to coat your frequency and your energy with those kinds of possibilities because this is a divine upgrade. The other thing that we're coming into is your intuition is on fire. Like literally, everyone's intuition is, my goodness. You have to trust your deep knowing. You have to. And I recognize that over the next coming days, the next coming weeks, even the next coming 18 months or so, especially when we're in this alpha and omega, this energy, it can be pretty tough to trust what you're getting, to hold on to it. Remember, a trust is what holds up a bridge. When you see those pillars of a bridge, that's a trust. You have to trust that deeper knowing. But the only way you can trust that deeper knowing is that you are listening to your intuition. It will never speak negative to you. It will never speak negative about anyone. It doesn't focus on that. It will never put you in a state of fear. It will never put you in a state of lack. And it will never communicate in a forceful, aggressive way, unless you're about to unalive in some way. You might get a scream, but that's a rarity. You usually only get one or two of them in your life. You don't really get too many of them. It's not going to communicate to you in a negative way, in a fearful way. It just doesn't. It just does not. Welcome on in, Goddess Rainwater. Good to see you. So know that this divine upgrade is letting you know when we get this divine upgrade, your energy field is recalibrating for expansion. And it's going to be very expansive. Some of the thoughts you thought you would never entertain or be open to, you're going to be able to see these situations, circumstances in a way you could never imagine, ever imagine. Your intuition is on fire. It's important that you take time throughout your day, whatever your practice is, sit with yourself in silence. Know when you're hearing that higher self come in. Know when you can feel it in your physical body, because the body is going to be going through a massive transformation. By the way, in my predictions, I talked about water. And so, what I want you all to do is to be very aware of the water that you are drinking. Be very aware. Yes, it's a lot of things happening in the water, but I want us to be very cautious about, or I should say, aware of the water you're drinking and listening to your intuition, because the water will tell you if this water is pure, if this water is healthy for you, if this water, and blessing your water and blessing your food. Please bless your food and your water, because you want to raise the vibration of anything that is coming in your presence, that you are bringing in your presence, taking in your body, taking in your mind. You want it to be at the same frequency you're on, or higher, higher. You want it to be at the same frequency that you're at, or higher. And so, if you're familiar with the work of Dr. Emoto and our ancestors out of ancient Kemet, simply you can take your water. This is why our elders would always, and still do, pray over their food. They will bless their food, they will pray over it, regardless of what you think about praying and what we understand about praying, about their intention. They were changing the frequency of the food they were eating. If you ever watch the Netflix special, High Off the Hog, and you understand about the slave trades for those who went through the slave trade, and you understand how they began to get the food when they came to the slavery in the Americas and the different islands, they were given the leftovers. None of that food made them sick. And one of the reasons I know is because they changed when they were eating chitlins, when they were eating ham hocks, when they were eating, these leftover scraps. They were blessing this food and praying over it. They prayed over and blessed this food so much that these things are now a delicacy. So things like caviar, these fish eggs used to be food that was given away as scraps. Things like lobsters and oysters used to be prison food, and food that was given to slaves that lived near the coastal lines. And now these are delicacy foods that you see in Michelin star restaurants. Things like the duck and all of these things. Don't you see? It is the ancestors who blessed and prayed over this food to the point that they raised the frequency to the people who were throwing these scraps away and giving it to them as the junk food or the leftover food became the food that everyone wants to eat, and still to this day want to eat and pay a very high premium for some caviar, for some lobster, from some oysters, for some ham hock, for some duck. I don't know if y'all get that. I don't know if y'all caught that. Bless your food. Set an intention over your food. Yeah, oxtails. Susan said the price of oxtails is all the way up. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. The price of oxtails are all the way up. So I want you to think about that. Yes, gumbo. These things that our ancestors, yeah, lamb chops. So you ask yourself the question, most people who are spiritual, we don't eat pork. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But they got some delicacies. You go to a Michelin star restaurant, they going to serve you pork and you going to pay a sweet penny for it, for some pork. What's the difference? The difference is you. Know you're always the one who makes the difference. It doesn't become magical until you make it magical. It doesn't. It doesn't become magical until you make it magical. Nothing happens until you show up. So your intuition is on fire. Listen to it. Listen to your intuition. Yeah, because your energy field is recalibrating for this expansion. Trust that deep knowing that's inside of you because it's guiding you home. The other thing that's happening is that the world is awakening. So they're finding all kinds of shit in the water, all kinds of things coming out the sky. Things are coming out of the mountains, out of the hills. They're finding things in mines. They're uncovering more cities. They're finding out different things in Antarctica. They're finding out different things in the desert. New species are showing up because the whole planet Earth is awakening. We're going through this at the same time. At the same time, we're going through a massive awakening, and the planet Earth is going through a massive awakening. That crystal that's in the center of planet Earth, where our second sun is shining bright, it's heating up things on the surface. And by the way, we don't live on top of Earth, we live in the layers of Earth. We're in Earth. We're not on Earth. We live inside of Earth. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. So, are we getting any activations at this time? You getting any activations that are happening for you at this time? So, mhm. Know the truth that you need to know. And this is something I want you to hold. I want you to know that the universe is working for you, not against you. Despite what you may hear on the news. That's right. Thank you, Donna, Priestess Donna Lee. That's right. That's my quote. Thank you for that. I love y'all when y'all quote me. I absolutely love it. So, the universe is working for you, not against you. Not against you. It's working for you. And I love that, Goddess Rainwater. Yes, Mother Earth is having hot flashes because the second sun has been activated. It's enough souls on the planet. We are raising our frequency and there is no going back. It's enough of us. It doesn't take all of us. There's more than 8 billion souls on the planet that have consciousness. And when we talk about souls, we have to talk about our pets and the animals. We have to talk about the trees, because every single one of us, for every living being on the planet, there is a tree that is born when you're born. When you leave this planet, your tree leaves with you. It is your tele it's your a telepathic communication device. Years ago, I did a show on this and went all into this. But every single person, when you're born, there is a tree that is born on the planet for you. And chances are that tree is not near you. It is somewhere else in the world, but it always is bringing communication and insight and information to you because the trees have their own network, like the ley lines on the planet that they communicate. And they communicate from Mother Earth through the roots. They also help to bring uh, psychic impressions and intel into through the trees, through the plants. This is why we have a divine connection for the plants on the planet. When you breathe in and breathe out, and we breathe out, the trees take it in. And then the trees give the oxygen out, and we begin to breathe it in. Yes, quantum entanglement. We have this soul connection with the trees on the planet. If the trees go, we go. And this is why every generation is so connected to the trees. It's not just for the fairies, it's for your ass. Because if all the trees go, you gonna go. You're gonna go because we all have a tree that when we're born, a tree is birthed on the planet as well. So that's why it was so important when they had those fires in Canada. Even a month before, I got a massive download and I donated a couple of thousand and thousands of trees for our soul group for Planet Remix. We had those trees planted in our honor, and I paid for those trees for us. And then right after that, all of the fires started happening. California, Canada, all the way down, all of the trees. So just remember that. So the universe is working for you. You understand? The greatest realization is that everything is aligning in your favor. And that's easy when things are going well to say that everything is aligning in your favor. That's easy. That's easy to say. Okay, I get it. Everything is in my favor. But what about when it doesn't appear to be in this physical world? What if it doesn't appear to be? Then what? Can you still hold that same frequency and know that everything is aligning in your favor? That's what I'm asking you to do. Because remember, literally right now, you are an alien. You are alien here. You are walking around. Your ID has expired. You have no proof of who you are at this moment. You have no proof of who you are. Your ID has expired. And some of you right now, you are struggling to go back and get your old ID, even though it was not serving you. A lot of your old ID was not serving you. You are meant to go somewhere higher, to do something greater. It could be in the same field, the same alignment, but in a different way. You are meant to expand your consciousness and your awareness. And some of you are struggling and you're fighting to hold on to your old ID. And you're being asked to go with the flow and to know that you can trust your intuition and that the universe is working in your favor. And if you start to move forward, instead of keep looking back, then you will see the expansion. You will see the transformation. You will accept the download and the expansion, the DNA explosion that will happen. You will be able to receive, because that's the true receiving. You're not receiving what you think is material. I'm not talking about I want to receive $100, or I want to receive and make this business. I want to receive. No, no, no. I'm talking about something much greater than that. Your soul is about to get a massive upgrade. And for some of you, one of the best things that could have happened is that you turn in your divine blueprint and make some adjustments. And this is the adjustment period. This is your adjustment period. You get a chance to opt out of some of the bullshit that you was fed, indoctrinated into, programmed into believing, some self-undoing habits, some bad addictions, some bad choices and decisions. You get to decide to do something else and to elevate. To elevate. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you realize that your ancestors, my ancestors, all did not get this opportunity? Do you realize that everyone is not getting this opportunity in the same lifetime? Sometimes it takes lifetime after lifetime after lifetime to get here. There are still people who think that Earth is a place you're supposed to try to get out of as fast as you can, that they have no power here, and that they want it all to be destroyed because they cannot find their power and their purpose in this lifetime. Because without power and without purpose, what else can you do but to try to get the hell out of here? If you have no power and you have no purpose, you're going to be trying to get out of here. So if you find yourself or anyone else feeling this way, ask them, what is your purpose? Do you feel like you have power in your own life? Because this is the missing pieces. They feel they're not, because who wants to stay somewhere if they don't have power and purpose? What's the point? What's the point? So now we're going to keep going. I don't want to be too long-winded on this, but listen, uh, the eclipse, we know that you are facing uh, and entering a new timeline of miracles, of miracles. I didn't put magic up there, and you all know how I feel about miracles and magic because they go hand in hand. But this new timeline that you're entering is a timeline of miracles. Because, see, you are the magic. Someone say, I am the magic. You are the magic. So you will be creating magic as you're entering into a timeline of miracles. Do I need to explain the difference between magic and miracles so we can understand that we're supposed to be in both those rooms, in both those places? I'm not telling you to stop making magic happen, because if you are here, you are a magic maker. So I know you're out here in these cosmic streets creating some kind of magic. But I also don't want you to exclude yourself, because you are entering a timeline where miracles are happening. It may be very well the magic you are creating, the person that's in front of you, comment that's in front of you, the comment that is behind you is the person that is creating and helping the miracle show up in your timeline. And this is where we all work together with one another. So there will be spaces and places where you're creating magic. It's not just about you creating magic and nothing is changing in your life. It doesn't work that way. And then all of a sudden, you go somewhere and a miracle happens. A miracle is an expected, intentional event that is the highest intention. When your highest intention happens, you have witnessed a miracle. That means that someone else co-created with you, whether it was the universe or whether it was someone else that was in your soul tribe or in your oversoul group. You witness a miracle. A miracle is when your highest intention happens. So you was hoping for, maybe if I go over here, I'll be able to I don't know, let's think of a miracle. I'd be able to go over here and see if I can rent this house, because this is the perfect space for me and my family. And maybe I'll be able to have enough money. They'll give me enough, tell me I can pay them a certain amount of rent, and I will be able to rent this house. You go over there and start talking to the person, comes out, they want to sell the house and they're ready to sign the papers and go ahead and turn it over to you for the amount of money that you have. And then the bank gives you the rest. And you have just created a miracle, because that was your highest intention. And that miracle doesn't stop there, because within 6 months, you've made enough money to pay the bank back. So now that you have what you have, you've created a miracle. Now I know it's going to be a lot of spiritual thumpers out there that want to shit on material things. Well, listen, we incarnated in a material world. You must stop this foolishness. You are material. When you leave this physical body, your spirit leaves. What do you leave behind? You leave your avatar, which is your vehicle, which is material. You're not going to get away from the material. It is not designed for you to get away, but it has been embellished into certain cultures and DNA, especially those of us from the African diaspora, brown and black people, that somehow we are too irresponsible to handle material things. And if we do, that makes us the devil. Stop this foolishness, please. But yet we want to help, yet we want to change lives, but we ain't got a pot to piss in. You can't do it without the agreements that we all made when we got here, that we would exchange currency, whether that be Bitcoin, whether that be virtual, whether that be in source resources or material, or whether that be in currency, which is money. You're not going to get around it. You are not going to get around that, because that was your agreement. That's not a program. That's your agreement you made when you came here. Can you live here without it? You absolutely can. But if you are living in the West, it's going to be a rough ride. Now, maybe if you were somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains, maybe if you were way, way, way off the grid, Maybe if you were somewhere on the continent of Africa or Asia, if you were out of the mainland somewhere and off on a secluded island, yes, then you can exclude all of these things, and no shade, no cap to people that choose to live that way. But if you are going to be in the West, be open to receive, because some of the greatest magic makers in the world are here. And you are able to balance out both worlds, because yet they are not separate. They are one in the same. The only separation is your mind and what you've been programmed to believe, that you don't have the heart and you don't have the integrity and the compassion. You're too irresponsible to be able to handle material things. Stop it. Stop it. That's another trick. That's another trick. So that you can be somewhere struggling, because then you would lose your power and you will struggle to find your purpose. And when you take away a person's power and you take away a person's purpose, it makes it difficult to want to survive. And so that's going to bring us to our next thing that we're going to talk about. Expect divine surprises. What I want you to take away from, you are entering a new timeline of miracles. Expect divine surprises. And I want you to put that into chat. I expect divine surprises. Expect it. You know it's going to happen for you. Expect divine surprises. Yeah, that part. Expect it, you know? Now, we're going to talk about this next one. Your past no longer defines you. So if anyone here got a little shaky, shaky baby past, and I don't think it's anyone who don't, know that your past doesn't define you. That's why I put that post up early this morning. Your past no longer defines you. That's not who you are. It doesn't define you. It doesn't lock you into that box. Now, granted, I have some powerful, beautiful things that I feel is a part of my past, but that doesn't even define who I am. Not completely. It doesn't define who I am. Your past doesn't. It doesn't define you. Your past does not define who you are. So release the old stories, because until you release your old story about who you are, what you can't do, what you're not good at. I did a reading. I'm not going to call you out, because the sister said, please, Ms.Blue, don't say my name on the remix. You can tell my story, but don't say my name. So I'm not going to say her name. But she kept saying, oh, well, I always do this. I always have nightmares, and I always do this, and I always do this. And I just can't help myself. I ain't good at this. I ain't never been good at that. And I just let her go on for a minute. And I said, until you release your past, release it. You cannot experience the new. You have to release that old story so the new one can start to form. By the way, this is a great week in couple of days. Do some feng shui, get rid of things in your physical world. If you say to yourself, I don't know nothing about me, I'm so perfect, I'm so together, I don't know no story I need to release that I'm telling myself, I got it all figured out, Miss Blue, I'm on cloud nine, I'm doing my work, I'm loving myself, and baby, there ain't nothing in my consciousness I need to release, then I would challenge you to start looking in your physical space because it will guide you to what old story you're still holding on to. And you have to release the old story so you can embrace your new path. Yeah. So you can embrace your new path. And I got news for you. Some of these stories that you're going to have to release, they still can serve you, but you have to let that go so that you can expand, so that you can expand. You're going to have to let that go so you can expand. I could have very well went and took my I can't even say it, my old computer, and I could have got it fixed. I really could have. I could have patched it up again and it would have still worked. It was still serving me, but I would never be able to elevate myself higher. So I don't want you to think in terms of just the things that's not serving you. Lenovo. Thank you. I couldn't say it. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. It's like the game show that used to come on when I was younger. And many of you remember this. I think it was Deal or No Deal. And sometimes the person would have $1,000 and they would say, do you want to give this $1,000 back and see if you can go for something else, something higher? Because there's $1,000,000 up here. Do you want to turn this in? You got 1,000, or do you want to go for something else? Most people would say, let me just keep what I got. Let me stay small. Let me just keep this. Even though something inside of them is saying, go for it. Take that leap of faith. Take that leap of faith. Go for it. Mhm. Take that leap of faith. Most of us won't. We'll just hold on to that 1,000 and they say, "Well, which one would you have picked?" "I would have picked that one." "Okay, just for shits and giggles, let's go ahead and open it and see what was in it." Open it. It's the $1,000,000. You didn't trust your intuition. You didn't take that leap of faith. And so many times we want somebody else to take the leap for us. We try to go find our friend. We try to find somebody else. Can you go and take that leap for me? I want to see if you fall first. And if you don't fall, then maybe I'll go do it. Y'all ever do that? Try to get somebody else to take the jump for you, take the nesting plunge for you. So these are some of the things um, to think about. We're releasing old stories about ourselves, old stories about what we're capable of doing, old stories about what we tell ourselves. I have to remind myself constantly. Sometimes I tell myself, oh, I'm not good at technology. I don't get to say that no more unless I want to bring that into my new timeline. If I say that, then I am bringing that in my new timeline. You are recreating. That's how powerful you are. You can heal something. You can get rid of something. You can heal your physical body, your mental body, your spiritual body. You can break spiritual curses. You could do all of these things and turn right back around and recreate that shit as fast as you got rid of it. And for some of us, that's the greatest distraction. We're healing and healing and healing and healing. I met people, it's been 30, 40, 50 years. They still healing. I'm healing and I'm healing. I got to take this class. I got to heal this and I got to heal that. And when you going to do some damn work? When are you going to do some work? When are you going to live? When are you going to do some damn work? At this point, it's a distraction. Ain't that much damn healing. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Oh, and I got to work on this. I'm healing. I'm healing. I'm healing and I'm healing. I got to work on this and I'm going to this and I'm doing this and I got to do this and I got to get my ancestor for this and I got to do this and I got to work on that because I'm healing and I'm healing and I'm healing. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, I met you in 2005. You still healing? What the hell is going? What's happening? What's happening over there? What are you? What? I'm trying to see what's happening. I'm trying to figure out where you at. Like, what's happening? What's going on? I'm healing and I'm healing. Don't worry, Ms.Blue. I'm doing my healing work. I'm healing and I'm healing. You healing? Well, shit. I got to get my weight up here. Cause who gonna heal me if I slip back? I'm thinking by now I got a whole army that can help heal me. I'm healing and I'm healing and and I found this class and I'm taking this class and I'm finally healing and I'm doing this and I'm healing and I'm healing. You still healing? This is 2025. When are you going to be done? I'm not saying every now and again something won't come up, but this cannot be your focal point. At some point, it has to be maintenance. Some point, it has to be preventative care. When can we get into being proactive? What is this? What is happening? Why are we doing all this damn healing? Like, who is making you sick? What is making you sick? Is it your city? Is it your state? Now, we all know it's all coming from the inside, but at this point, I'm throwing shit at her. Is it the people in your life? Is it your job? Is it your food? Is it the clothes you wear? Is it your hair, sis? What is it? Is it your vitamins, your supplements? Is it your neighbor? Who is doing this to you? I just want you to know I'm working on healing. No, you got to do more. That's a small piece of the puzzle. That's a small piece of the puzzle. You got to do some work. You can't just be healing and healing and healing. What is this? What is it? Yes, Black Gold. What is it? It's programming. Because we all think that we are so jacked up. Now, don't get me wrong. We have things that we need to work on. We need to heal. We need to let go. Imagine if someone came to you and they say, I got the flu. Just think about it for a moment. See, because we treat people different when we think of it outside of terms of, and we're just used to saying this. We're just used to saying, these are just words that we're just used to saying. It sounds good. It makes us feel like we are productive in society because we're healing. I don't know about you, girl, but I'm working on healing me. But you've been doing that for the last 20 years. And I'm curious. I'm curious. When do you think? Do you have a timeline? Do you have a date? When do you think you're going to be healed? When do you think you're going to be in a season when you ain't got to do all this healing? Because you can't be really living if you're doing all this healing. But getting back to my story, let's say you had a coworker and every week that coworker come in and tell you they got the flu. What are you going to start saying to that coworker? Would you say, wow? At first you're going to say, dang, you got the flu again? You sick again, Fred? Yeah. Eventually you're going to say, wait a minute. I don't, even if you say, Miss Blue, I don't really have those intuitive powers. You're going to start saying to that coworker, I don't think it's the flu. You might want to go get that checked out. It might be something else. I don't think you keep getting sick. I don't think that's it. And so this is what I had to eventually say to the sister. This is not healing you need. This is something else. This is something different. You cannot tell me that you are doing all of this healing. Girl, you got to check yourself because something deep, absolutely. Yeah, something deeper is going on. What is happening? So we have to get out of these cycles so you can get to your greatness. I don't hear nobody saying, Ms. Blue, I'm going for my greatness. I'm going for my highest intention. I'm working on my highest intent. Imagine if we switched the language and said, Ms. Blue, I'm just working on my highest intention. I'm just working on my highest intention. Instead of saying, I'm healing and I'm healing and I'm healing. No, I'm working on my highest intention. Just something to think about. just something. Just something to think about. All right, let me stay focused. We working on our highest intention here. So, your karmic patterns are clearing. And this is your chance for freedom. Someone say, freedom, freedom. I'm free. And by the way, I want to say thank you to everyone for the last show. You guys broke the record number for the amount of comments I've had in a long time, way over 100. So I want to give a big, big shout out to all of you. Yeah. Give a big, big shout out to everyone who commented. And I'm still going to get to the comments, get to your emails, answer all of those things. But imagine if we were to say that to ourselves. I'm working on my highest intention instead of saying we're healing, because ain't that much healing, right? Let's be honest. This is your chance for freedom. It's your chance for self mastery. It is your chance for self mastery, to get into self mastery. For most people who come to me and telling me they doing all this healing, it really is a denial of the self. This is where I personally feel some of the greatest healers are in the planet. So if you heard me and you took it some kind of way, you felt personal about that shit I just said about you healing and you healing, then know that you are a healer and you need to be sharing things with people and helping other people heal, because until you step into what your soul is calling you to do, if you do not follow that calling, it will make you sick. Do you hear me? Physically sick, mentally sick, emotionally sick, sick. It will make you sick if you are not following what you feel you're being called to do. Now, here's the dilemma. For some of you, you're going to have to work your way up. Some of you, you can quit it cold turkey and go after it and it blows up overnight. But the honest truth, many of us have not built up our solar plex chakra with our self-esteem to the point that we can believe that we are valuable enough and worthy enough that what we love and want to do is worth us being taken care of. because what your purpose is may not be what brings you wealth in this world. Listen at me closely. Because when you know who you are, you can lay your ass on the couch and generate millions. I know most people don't want to tell you that, but that is the truth. But also, what is the truth? Most of us do not have enough self knowing of who we are, the alpha and the omega, to make that shit happen. And so, therefore, I do not recommend that if you are in a situation and you do not want life, if nothing else moves you, life will. If you do not want life to move your ass, meaning you're homeless, you don't have nowhere to live, things are very unstable, and you want to push yourself into a position where you're sort of forced to do or die, then I would not recommend that you quit your day job. Have a plan, but also understand that that plan is not the only way that you can make it. But there are some things that you must understand about who you are, the God in you, of what you can actually do for real. Now, some of you, I will tell you, please, and there are some people, y'all know I've been begging you for years, please quit that job. Stop it. Quit the job. And some of you, I tell you, don't quit your day job. But if you check in with yourself, you're going to know where you are on that meter. For many of you, you're going to get that opening here again. Plan for it. Have a plan for yourself. Not because you don't believe in yourself. I need you to know that you don't really care, like all bets are off. You ready to go no matter what it is. And you have processed that because you're going for your highest intention. And you can go for your highest intention while working a job. I did it for my highest intention for a long ass time. And in some regards, I still do it. I still do it. So I want us to be using our intel with this as well. You know what? Some of y'all are getting milk and cookies. Black Gold said, yeah, we getting lobster and steak tonight. Yes. Some of y'all are getting that and some of y'all are not. But you know where you are. And when you know where you are, then you can get to where you know you want to be. It's in that denial of really being in a delusion of what's really happening in our lives that we put ourselves in a bad situation. We make bad decisions. Make good decisions for yourself, which means you have to cut something out. You have to cut it out. And I hope it's that I'm healing and I'm healing and I'm healing. I think if I hear that shit again, I'm just going to scream. I'm going to be like that girl on Instagram. I'm going to be doing that. If somebody keep telling me that again, I'm going to scream, please. And not that some people don't need healing, because some of you ain't really did healing. You was acting. You was just acting. So all them years you was just acting like you was healing, you really wasn't. And now you're ready to do it for real. Yeah. Some of y'all exist too. We love y'all. We're all going to still be family. I'm not going to treat you no different, but let's just keep it a buck. Some of y'all was just out here acting. And that's why every other month you still healing. You still healing because you was acting. You wasn't really doing the work, you know? And, quiet as it's kept, a lot of people want to be outside of Earth. They want to travel to another planet. They want to be in the astral realm having sex. They want to do everything that keeps them from being responsible for growing up on the planet. And Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to say playtime is over, but at some point, you got to do a little bit of work. Yeah. I said it, Jolie. It's facts. It's facts. They know who they are. You talk to them about anything, they going to tell you how they just came back off a trip. And it ain't going to have shit to do with Earth. Ain't going to have nothing to do with their current situation and what's happening in their life. None of that. They going to tell you something else. They going to tell you they was on Venus, they was in Mars, they was somewhere else, they was in the astral realm, they was doing this, they was doing that. They know who they are. They know. I love y'all too. It's okay. It's okay. The astral realm is a beautiful place. And after you finish your work called loving yourself, then I say, have at it. Go do what you need to do. Go see who you need to see. Go see what you need to see. But do your work. Don't skip on you. Don't sleep on you. So, we know our intuition is on fire. We know we have to trust that deeper knowing. It is guiding us home. What is the astral realm, by the way? You know what, Melissa? No, Melissa, please don't go hanging out with them. They nasty up there when they do all that stuff. They be real nasty. You don't want no part of that. It's called buck naked dimension. You don't want to be in the butt naked and afraid dimension. You don't want to go in that dimension. By the way, I have to watch me some butt naked and afraid. I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that this year at all. One of my favorite shows, by the way. I got to watch Butt Naked and Afraid. If y'all never seen Butt Naked and Afraid, y'all got to watch that. That show will really help you get a grip on reality. What you think in your mind versus what is real, Butt Naked and Afraid make you know the difference. When they put you out there and you butt naked and you got to survive, listen, it's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother world. Yeah, you never watched Butt Naked and Afraid? I literally gave it that name, quiet as it's kept. I heard the directors, they be around there saying that because I gave it that name, but it's called Naked and Afraid. But I call it Butt Naked and Afraid. I love that show because that show shows everybody who think they know exactly what's going on until they got to get butt naked and they got to get their stuff together. And once they get their self together, yeah, I'm the one that put everybody on butt naked and afraid. That's right. Yeah, you gotta Google. You can Google butt naked and afraid. It'll come up. It'll tell you naked and afraid. And they got an edition in Australia where they have some grandmothers and grandfathers go out there. And they had this one grandmother. She came out there. She was popping all kinds of shit, talking about how she teach her grandbabies how to survive in the wilderness. She was talking all this stuff. And oh yes. Yes, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna set my campground up and I'm gonna get things together. Late at night, Granny said, "What was that? Did y'all hear that? I thought I heard something." I said, "Uh-oh, Granny, you about to be butt naked and afraid." They had one of our little spiritual soul group sisters out there. She was talking about, no, I don't need no protein. I'm just going to eat the berries. I'm going to eat the berries. She was like, oh, look at the sweet little monkeys. She was throwing stuff up. And the guy was like, hey, you might want to leave those monkeys alone. They're vicious. Oh, no, I'm one with nature. She was getting up early in the morning. Next thing you know, they found her on the beach, face down, butt naked and afraid. I'm telling you, if you never watch Butt Naked and Afraid, you gotta watch Butt Naked and Afraid. Maybe we'll do story time and you guys will get my reaction from Butt Naked and Afraid. I thought for a small moment, that I was going to be an audition for Butt Naked and Afraid. And then I realized if the butt naked didn't get me, my ass would be afraid in the dark. Because if you drop me off somewhere in the swamp, you drop me somewhere off in the outback, if you drop me somewhere, somewhere in the Americas, because we got some scary places in America, you drop me off somewhere over there, I'm going to be butt naked and afraid. No, she didn't die. She didn't die, but she was dehydrated because on this episode, her grandfather, see, let me just tell y'all this. I know we're a little off topic, but it really isn't. See, because next is the right people and opportunity will find you. And this isn't off topic. She didn't die, but what happened is when you get ready to go, you stuck on Sex in the Cosmos. Listen, you can have a whole cosmic baby. People out here having cosmic babies. Listen, don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. But you can play with it. I mean, it's fun. But anyway, maybe we'll do some sex magic classes, but that'll be offline. We won't do that on the U and the tube. We won't do that here. But anyway, so what happened is when you get ready to go on the show, you're allowed to bring a tool. Now, this is where your telepathic abilities has to come in place because you don't really know the person you're going to be paired with. And usually they do a man and a woman. Sometimes it's two women, two men, but usually it's a man and a woman. And so telepathically, you're thinking to yourself, what tool do I want to bring? Because I get to bring it. Think of it like your superpower. It's like a spiritual tool. You get to bring a superpower with you. I don't care what nobody say. Always bring a fire starter with you. And I'm not talking about because this chick literally brought a magnifying glass. So what happens is they take you to the drop off point. You get a pouch and you get a map. And when you get to the drop off point, you got to take off your clothes, like you taking off your clothes in the truck and the boat, whatever they drop you off, helicopter, whatever. You just start taking your shit off, throwing it in the back of the truck and wherever you at, and you butt naked. And then you get out and you start walking. And then all of a sudden you're going to see another person. It's kind of like you Adam and Eve. You know how they tell about Adam and Eve in the Bible? So it's kind of like you Adam and Eve. So you walking and you looking. Now keep in mind, you ain't got no shoes on. You in the wilderness. All kind of shit can be on the ground. So you, because your feet is tender. Feet is tender. And you look and you see this man and he's butt naked. And you know that's your partner. Or you see this woman and she's butt naked. You know that's your partner. So you two are like Adam and Eve. You come together, you meet each other, you shake. Most of the time they give hugs like this in the beginning. You know how you fake hug somebody and you just kind of be like this? So you fake hug because they think if we don't want to touch, because most of these people are married or they got a boyfriend, they got a girlfriend, they got something going on. So anyway, after you do that, you introduce each other. You don't have a lot of time because before sunset, you have to build a camp because you don't want it to be dark and you butt naked in the middle of a jungle somewhere. You don't want that. That's not a good look. So the first thing you have to do is find your campsite. And the next thing you have to do after you find your campsite, you need to set your campsite up and you need to get some fire going. Because if you ain't got no fire, them lions, them tigers and bears and snakes and bugs and mosquitoes, they all come and for your ass because they realize that you are butt naked and afraid. So after you talk to your partner, he pulls out this machete. He said, "This is what I brought." He thinking, please let my telepathic abilities have gone to my partner. And she has a fire starter. She reaches down in her little pouch and she does like this, y'all. She go. He says, "What is that?" "Oh, when I was young, my grandfather showed me how to use a magnifying glass and start a fire." I almost fell out the bed. I said, "Yo ass." Yo crazy ass is fixing to be butt naked, cold, and afraid because that is not going to work. That is not going to work. So he looks at her. He's disgusted, but he thinking, we butt naked and afraid. We out here by ourselves. Ain't nothing we could do. So he says, well, we got to find a campsite. So they go trucking. They go find them a little campsite. He said, I'm going to go chop down some logs. She says, well, I'm going to walk over here down by the water and the beach, and I'm going to start a fire. 5 hours later, he like, well, where's she at? Because I sure don't see no fire. He coming back like he Tarzan. He got all these logs. He's building their little tent. She comes back. He says, so what happened? I'm going to have to try tomorrow. We didn't have enough sunlight and I couldn't get, it must have rained. I couldn't get the wood enough. I couldn't get it enough to start the fire. He said, so you didn't get the fire? No, I'm going to get up when the sun is rising and I'm going to go out there to the beach. Fast forward 2 or 3 days later. Now they arguing because they freezing at night and the animals is trying to get at their ass because they ain't got no fire to keep them away. And he real tight. You could see his whole jawline done locked up, but he's trying to stay calm because he thinking of all the things you could have brought. You brought a magnifying glass, not a real flick, start some fire. She on the beach doing like this, trying to get the sun like we did in Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts to try to start the fire with the magnifying glass. All of a sudden, he said, she's been gone for a long time. Let me go check on her. Found her face down in the sand. They had to medevac her ass up out of there. It's not funny. It's not. The locals come. And when the locals come, these are bush people. These are people who live off the grid. They got a hammock that they done self-made. They lift her up. She is lifeless. I'm like, oh my God, is she alive? Take her, get her into the back of the truck. They medevac her, take her to the hospital. Fast forward 3 days later. She got IVs and shit in her, lips all swelled up. She's sunburned all over. After he didn't finish his 45 days, because I think you got to stay for no, it ain't 40. Maybe it's 40 days, 30. I can't even remember. He comes to the hospital. She like, oh, so you made it. So he said, yeah. It's not funny. I promise you, if you're watching this, girl, I knew you was going to eventually get that fire. That just was the wrong place for you, baby. So he says, yeah, I just wanted to check on you. She goes, yeah. I just couldn't get that fire to start. He says, I know. So she's trying to cry and the nurse is telling her, no. Calm, stay calm. She goes, the worst part is my grandfather gave me that magnifying glass. And I must have left it on the beach. He reaches in his pocket and says, here you go. I said, you know what? If your grandfather was living, if you was listening to your ancestors, he would have told you, baby girl, do not take that magnifying glass on butt naked and afraid. Do not do it. Don't do it. And then I got to talk about it because I was so excited. And then we're going to move on. It was a sister girl on the show. And I was so excited for her until she came with a bust down middle part and she had a silk press. and she had lip gloss on. And I said, well, if she can do it, damn it, so can I. This is my way in. If this sister make it on Butt Naked and Afraid, listen, I may start training. So she came out there. She was like, I spent some time in the National Guard and I know all about survival. And yeah, I took a nutritionist class in college. And so I studied up on the area. I know about that tree. I know about those berries. I know what to stay away from. So everybody's like, wow, she's going to be very beneficial for the group. Yeah. Because she knew, she was looking around, taking her hair. Okay. All right. We need to break up in groups. Who's going to go get the wood? Who's going to start the fire? Who's going to build the camp? I think we should head this way. Everybody following her because they like, sister girl done walked up in this piece. She got it going on. She know what's going on. She got herself together. She sat down, started weaving her some damn shoes out of banana leaves. Yeah, covered up her goodies, my goodies, made her a little mini skirt, tied a little bag around her waist to cover up her pom pom, and she was ready to go. Next thing you know, she's looking around. She's like, "Oh, oh, 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 oh." I said, "Uh oh, uh oh." She's like, "Oh, a lot of bugs over here. We may need to move. May need to move our campsite." Princess Erica. Next thing you know, fast forward day 2. Them ants got that ass. But she was smart and she went out with grace and power. She said, my menses is coming on and I'm cramping real bad. I'm going to have to go ahead and tap out. Mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That sister girl packed her shit, swooped that hair down, waved at the helicopter, and got on there like she was Ginger from Gilligan's Island and rolled off in the sunset. So I'm just telling you, you know, I equate butt naked and afraid to real life. And sometimes Black Ghost said, what we not gonna do is this. Listen, y'all have to watch. I'm just telling you, it's one of the best shows on the world, on the planet. You got to watch Butt Naked and Afraid. It's one of my favorite shows, and I haven't watched it in a long time. But anywho, the right people, the right people and opportunities will find you. They will find you. Know that in this season, the right people and the right opportunities will find you. They really, really will. They will find you. Mhm. This is a time that I want you to understand that your energy is very magnetic. Like, I'm being so serious right now. Your energy is so magnetic that whatever you're holding whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking. And it's more from, think about it this way, a magnetic point of view. It's magnetizing all of your goodness towards you. So this is the time for us to be in a high vibration. Mhm. They got to stay butt naked and afraid. I want to say for 30 or 45 days. It depends, because they got butt naked and afraid, the extended version. They got butt naked and afraid and the groups. They got butt naked and afraid when they bring back all the people who lost and bring them back. They had a brother on there that was homeless in Philadelphia. He went on there and outshined all they asses, honey, because he was like, them Philadelphia streets, baby. The jungle ain't got nothing on these Philly streets. And that brother won butt naked and afraid. They was like, so you was homeless? Yep. His father had passed away and somehow he ended up being homeless. That brother got on butt naked and afraid and outlast all them people who was talking about they was in the Marines, they worked with special forces, they were Boy Scouts, they was this, they was that. He was like, "Oh, I'm from Philadelphia." They didn't realize that that was a jungle too, because anybody know about Kensington Avenue, and that's where he used to spend his nights sleeping on Kensington. If you can survive on Kensington, baby, the jungle is a joke. Yep. What do they win? They win a lot of money. You win a lot of money, a lot of endorsements. If you know, then you know. But you got to see that episode. And then when he came back, he got a job working in the zoo in Philadelphia and became like a zoo manager. He ain't homeless no more. But listen, they was like, "Oh, where are you from?" He said, "Philadelphia." Then he told this story about how he was homeless. Shoot, he was moving through them challenges like it wasn't nothing. He was walking on. They was over there talking about, "Oh, ooh, gotta get something for my feet." He was walking like it wasn't nothing. Barefooted and all. Sure did. Barefooted and all. And then he was kind of on the more thicker side, we like to say. Brother came out of there slimmed and trimmed. You hear me? Slimmed and trimmed. His whole life changed. So let's come back to the point of what we're making about eclipse. The right people, opportunities will find you. And you're going to be magnetizing that towards your way. You know what, Griffin? Oh my goodness. Let these things magnetize you, because they really, really um they will show up for you. You will know the ones that are right for you. Now, let's say this. It may not be butt naked and afraid, but you will get your right opportunity and the right people will come into your life. By the way, a lot of exes are coming back around. I don't know how many of you like spinning the block, but they may not be coming back to, it may not be for you to spin the block. It may be for you to do something different, or different people you work with in your life. It may be for you to work with at this time. So really just look at it from that way. Look at it from that way. So, okay. All right. So we know the whole world, everything, the collective, your part of the collective evolution is this awakening. And we all get a chance to participate in this awakening, which is so true. Okay, let me stay focused here. Wait, that's not what I meant to do. Let me go here. All right. So here we go. Now, mhm. Which one is this? All right. So you have to stay open, and I want you to trust the flow. Stay open and trust the flow. Your intuition is going to guide you. Stay open and trust the flow. I've been talking about this for years and years and years and years and years. I know y'all are tired of me hearing it, but sometimes we need to hear things more than once. But I want you to see this. And yes, old friends may come back into your life. People you haven't seen in so long. You may bump into them at the gas station, the grocery store, somewhere just out and about. You may just bump into them somewhere. It will happen. Know that none of this is a coincidence. But the right people and the right opportunities are going to find you. But keep your vibration high, stay open, and trust the flow. Your energy is magnetic. So, whatever you focus on, you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds. Just think of it that way. You're planting seeds, whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're giving your time, your energy, your attention to, you will magnetize. So do this for me. Drop a fire sign in the chat or in the comment section if you are ready to receive and really understanding what that receive mean. Are you ready to receive the areas of your life that you need to let go of? Are you ready to receive that it's time for you to stop thinking this way? Are you ready to receive that you can set your intentions for your highest good? Are you ready to receive? It's time to move out of these boundaries that may have kept you locked, stuck, or just feeling uninspired and alive. Are you ready to receive that maybe you've done all the healing you need to do for now? Don't think of receiving just as someone giving you something, but also as a transformative, because we know fire itself is the alchemy, right? It's an alchemical process. It transforms from one state to the other. It's a transmutation that is taking place. And you're transmuting it into with the intention of your highest intention. No one wants to transmute something into their lower intention, but our highest intention. So do that, right? All right. So now we're going to talk about the shift. This is the shift that changes everything. So now we're going to talk about how to align with your destiny. And I'm going to be giving you some steps here on how to align with your destiny. These are going to be your power moves. It's going to be, I know I have manifestation there, but whenever you see Ms.Blue put manifestation, I want you to think of manifesto, right? Like your manifesto. What is your manifesto? Because what you write down, and it's going to be so important about what you're writing down, is what you ultimately will align with. And once you align with your highest intention in these power moves, you will begin to master it. When you get to the master level, you will be able to create. Someone type create, because that's the process through creation. Remember, we're always manifesting, but we want that manifest to become a manifesto. So the process doesn't stop after we put something in motion to manifest. That's just the manifesto that we've done. That's the detachment part. So once you put down what you want and you have that manifesto, then you're going to start aligning with it. Not, I'm going to wait until I get that new car. I'm going to wait until I heal. I'm going to wait until my relationship is right. I'm going to wait until I move. I'm going to wait until I start this business. No, we're not waiting. Once we write the manifesto, we have already entered the process of manifestation. Now we will detach away from manifestation and we will become in alignment with what's on our manifesto, right? And I want you to physically write this down, and I'll talk about that in a second here. And so once you have aligned with it, you step into the mastery. You're at the mastery state. That's where the creation begins. Because think about it. The moment that you make this power move and you say, I'm going to set my intention for my highest intention. You're going to create a manifesto. And this manifesto, I would encourage you. I don't think I have to. I'm not going to tell you what to put on there. But remember, everything starts from the inside out. So make sure you have that on there on your manifesto as well, too. Because when we can shift these things within our consciousness and our awareness, this is ultimately how we raise our frequency. So put that on your manifesto. You can put material things as well, but you need to have a good balance of things on that manifesto. Once you've done that, you're going to detach from that because now you're going to choose. And I would say start out with 2 or 3 things to be in alignment with it, meaning I am that, the Alpha, the Omega. We are one, whatever that is. I no longer talk shit about myself when I have to get up early in the morning. That's it. You've decided this is going to take us back to our other lesson that we've been building up to. You've decided that means you've cut out because it's not on your manifesto. If it's not on that manifesto, you're not in alignment with it. You are giving a message to the universe and to your higher self that if it's not on that manifesto, then you're not going to be in alignment with it. You're staying in alignment with what's on your manifesto. That's how you detach. Once you become in alignment, you can put a check mark to it and say, oh, I'm in alignment with that. I'm no longer going to start talking shit to myself because I have to get up early in the morning, but there are some things I have to cut out. Number 1, I have to go to bed early. Number 2, I have to prepare a nighttime ritual, get myself ready. So when I wake up in the morning, then it is a grand rising, as y'all like to say. Grand rising. It is a real grand rising when I wake up. Not for play, but for real, because you're in alignment. The moment you become in alignment, you have entered into the mastery stage. Now, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if anyone has told you this. But when you become a master, you're held to a different set of standards and values. Did anybody know that? Did anybody know that? Did y'all know that? That once you become a master of something, your values and your standards have changed, not only for yourself, but everything that interacts with you. Did you all know that? You said, I figured. You figured that? Okay. I'm glad you figured it out. Yeah, you knew, Jolie. Okay. As long as y'all know, no, you didn't know that, Ines? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It changes. It changes. Yeah, you are master. It changes. You don't get to go and say, oops, I just decided I'm not going to do that no more. No, 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 no. Because now you have a different level of power. At your master level, when you move into that state, you are at a master level. That means things are magnifying faster, things are moving faster, they're happening faster. Why? Because you are a master and you have more power and you have embraced. Let me clean that up a little bit. You have embraced more of your own soul power because you're not taking my power. You're not taking your man's power, your woman's power, your kids' power, your job's power, the president's power. You're not taking nobody else's power, but you're harnessing more of your own power. That's what you're doing. You're harnessing your power. And when you harness more of your power, right? You're held to a different level of standards. Let's face it. Everybody's not a master. Everybody's not a master. But when you write this manifesto list and you align with that, you are now a master. There you go. If nobody never told you anything, Ms.Blue right here on this damn day just granted you the ability to be a master. There you go, master. All right. So you have aligned, you've become a master. Now, what's going to happen? A golden doorway is going to open to the luminous and starry realms. Just like that. Just like that, it's open. But you have to prepare for this. Don't sit down tonight and write that list and you ain't prepared for this. I'm going to give you these steps, these 5 steps, so you can prepare for when you're ready to step into that master level. You have to clear space for the new. We're going to get back to that. And I'm speaking to myself here. You got to clear space for the new. You have to let go of those things that don't align with your vision. Not your old vision, your new vision. Your new vision. You have to get those things. People, places, thing. You have to make space. You got to make room for it. You have to clear the space. And I want you to think about your physical space. I want you to think about your emotional space. I want you to think about your mental space. I want you to think about your physical body making space. Maybe it's time that you do a detox, making space, right? Maybe it's your refrigerator. You have to clean out your pantry because you're changing the foods you're eating. You understand? Maybe it's your room and you have to get rid of some things and clear so you can make room for this new vision, of what you're aligning to. And then number 2, you have to get crystal clear on your intentions. Speak it. You have to write it. Write your desires. We just talked about it on the manifesto, as if they are already here. 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 Right? Because you got to get in alignment with it. So as if they're here. And then next, you have to follow the signs and synchronicities. The universe is guiding you in real time, baby. It's not on delay. It ain't on delay. It's in real time. Real time. Real time. Real time. And you ain't got to look for it. You ain't got to stretch your mind and say, 222, 222. I can't tell y'all how many people tell me that. And I say, so what did it mean? I seen 222. And what did it mean? 222. What did it mean? Don't become a number chaser. Don't become a number 444. Okay, what did it mean? 444. What did it mean? Don't become a number chaser. That number is letting you know, the universe is letting you know, baby, you are in alignment. You're in alignment. You're at the mastery level. You can go home, you can pull out your phone later and play around with the internet's definition of what that means. I'm trying to give you some real occult science on what that shit means. That means you're in alignment. Create something that moment. Be in a space of gratitude. Be in a space of activation. Be in a space of presence. Be in a space of knowing your power. Be in a space of feeling purpose. Be in a space of understanding your joy. When you see these numbers, I'm not trying to satisfy your mind. I'm after your soul tonight. We might not get another chance at this. And I'm being for real. I don't give a damn what your mind needs to satisfy 222. 333. I can't tell you how many emails I got. Ms.Blue, I seen 222, 222, 222. I said, okay, what do it mean? What did it mean to you? What does it mean to you? 222. What did it mean? What did it mean? 444. What did it mean? What did it mean? And don't get me wrong. numbers have an amazing levels to them. Most of us stay on the surface. Like I told you, today, the 28th, you might want to get some of this shit done tonight. I'm telling you, put something in motion of, especially when it comes to this step right here, power moves, the manifesto, alignment and mastery, clearing space for the new, getting crystal clear on your intentions, follow the signs and synchronicity, staying open to the highest frequencies possible, because we all know that life sometimes be lifing, even though it's working in our favor. We understand that. We understand that the universe is working for us. We understand that. And sometimes that highest in the room, right? That highest frequency, it might just be, let me breathe. Let me breathe in this moment. Let me take a pause in this moment. It may, I'm not telling you, please let us not get confused about jumping up and down and running all around. That doesn't mean you're in a high frequency. That doesn't mean that. It doesn't. You can be in your highest frequency depending on the circumstances. It may require you to shed a tear. It may require you to grunt a little bit and kick a few things. I'm not telling you to do it, but what I'm trying to tell you is that may be the highest frequency available at that second, until you can gather yourself and really move into a higher state of being. So understand that. Stay in the highest frequency possible. Find joy. And joy is not something that you can find outside yourself. In fact, let's just clear up the whole joy myth. Joy is not a frequency. Mm-mm. It's not. Mm-mm. It's not a frequency. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We'll talk about that another time. That's going to take us too far off path. But understand. I think y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. And then you have to move with boldness and faith. You got to move with boldness and faith. Boldness. When you're moving with boldness, that means you are centered and grounded in knowing that your intuition, your ancestors, your higher self, source, the universe is working for you. And that action that you're going to take, you can take it. You can make a power move on it. You can make that power move. You can make a power move on your decision because you've already done the necessary steps to get you there. And you can have faith. You can have faith, and you can leap into the unknown without fear, without having any fear. You don't have fear. It's not about knowing everything that's going to happen, because you are creating as you go. And a big part of what you're creating is a part of your unconsciousness. Some of it is a part of your divine blueprint. And so you may not have the awareness until that moment manifests itself in front of you. So it's not about knowing. It's about understanding, one, you're participating, and two, why wouldn't it be great? Why wouldn't this turn out great? Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't this be a lesson? Why wouldn't this be an experience? Why wouldn't this be something that you can move through without fear? Because that's what you want. Because if you're moving through it without fear, then you're always, and I want someone to say this with me, you're always, mhm, 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 mhm. You're always going to be in your highest and greatest good. Always. Always. Even if you don't know it at the moment, it always is going to be. It's always. If you're moving without fear, if you're moving in fear, well, that's a slippery slope because you can end up anywhere, anywhere. You can end up in someone else's reality. You can end up, you can end up Brittany didn't perfectly say that. I said that. And yeah, I'm going to call you out because I already know what you over there doing. I already know that y'all psyche is trying to psych y'all out because you don't want to be responsible. It's okay. Just hit X and leave. You don't have to play crazy. Just hit X and leave and say, I don't want to be responsible. So I'm going to play like I don't hear shit Ms.Blue is saying. My mind is going to play tricks on me and I'm going to try to distract myself any way I can because I don't want this message. I don't want this message. I don't want to hear it. And I damn sure don't want to hear it from Ms.Blue. And there's many reasons why you might not want to. It's many reasons. I'm not going to get into that because I love y'all and y'all may not be ready to hear that right now, but it's many reasons. And one of the reasons is because you are scared of yourself. And so that kind of power, that kind of force of what you're hearing and how I'm speaking to you is something that you're afraid of within yourself. And so I'm telling you, when these things come up, anger, jealousy, distraction, trying to revert your mind, trying to do little slick shit. You know how we call it nice, nasty moves. And I'm saying this with love because I know we all have been there. I want you to understand that that is truly your higher self letting you know you're scared of you. You're scared of yourself. And this reflection is too deep for you to handle. So your ego mind thinks. It thinks it's not possible for you. So it wants to make you think, forget what she's saying. We going to be over here. We going to be a distraction. We don't want to hear none of that because we know this ain't true. Yes, it is. That's how I want you to know that you are closer to your power than you've ever been in your life. If you are getting mad, if you are getting angry, if you're getting jealous, if you're getting frustrated, what anyone is doing, jealousy, whatever it is, I want you to take that and make it your fuel because this is you saying, damn, that's so much like you. It's scary. It's scary. That's how much it's like you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But you got to ask yourself how you hear and not listening, but you can read what Brittany's saying. Yeah, I'm going to call you out because I want you to step fully into your power because this ain't the first time you done did it. Your spirit guide said, hit that message right there. Your spirit guide said, hit that message so she can see that this is her time to step fully into who she is. Time to stop playing small. This is for all of you. There is a whole group of collective out there that is banking on everybody who is listening to this to keep playing small, to keep counting yourself out, to keep being distracted, to keep thinking you can't accomplish anything. There are literally people, just like you see people bet on sports events, you see people bet on horses, you see people gambling at casinos. They are gambling that, guess what? Give them all the fucking information in the world, make it free, let them get it, give it to them over and over and over again. And I guarantee you, they will not do anything to save themselves. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. And yes, it does. Anxiety comes from being too far in the future and not taking enough action and being present. That is what anxiety is. Not the medical term, but the spiritual understanding of anxiety. You are too far in the future trying to change something in the future and not recognizing that your power is in your presence. And if you can come present, you will not have anxiety. If you are taking action in real time and being focused, 100% committed to being present in the future, you will recognize that not only did you take care of the future, you are taking care of the past. You have everything within your scope. Within your scope. That's how you get rid of anxiety. Okay. Yeah. No milk and cookies, but maybe lobsters. I don't know. I don't know. So let's get to, we're on the last one. Move with boldness and faith. That's it. That's it. Leap into it. Leap into it. Leap into the future of you. Leap into the future of you with excitement. Aren't you excited for yourself, for what is next? You've been doing the work. Please, please, if you have to sit down, I'm going to give the steps out in an upcoming show of an updated version of a Love Me book, something I came out with over 15 years ago. But get you on yourselves. You have been healing and healing and healing and healing. If you had to pay for healing, you'd be a broke ass because you give all your money to healing and ain't healing nothing. But the gag is you've already healed. But if you don't step outside of that space, if you do not give yourself another frequency and vibration to be in, you will keep thinking you've got to heal. Spiritual law. First thing I learned, my guides taught me, Edgar Casey, one of my soul body guides, H.P. Pravatsky taught me, if you take something out, you must replace it with something similar or of higher frequency. So many of you are healing and you're not replacing what you have healed with the higher vibration. And because you're not doing that, then the only thing that it can, this is where like meets like, you're just going to recreate the same wound that you just healed. It's just going to be a different person, a different circumstances, a different place, a different time. And you're just going to go back and forth, and you're going to keep healing, 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 healing. And no, stop it. Stop it. You're healed. And you're healed because you say so. Put it on your manifesto list. Move, do your power moves, align with it, step into mastery with it, and begin to walk through the 5 steps that I just gave you. And that's it. That's it. We're done. We're done here. We've done it. We've done it. But we have got to move on. Our ancestors. And if you didn't listen to the last show, I would encourage you to download, go back and listen, because the ancestors had a powerful message for you guys. I've been saying it for years, but hey, I'm healing. Maybe I healed and I figured out another way to no, I'm joking. I'm really joking. I wanted to make sure that I put that message out with my heart and soul to let y'all know your ancestors don't want y'all playing around with them. They need you to activate the powers that was dormant inside of them. Hello. Hello. So, comment before we leave, and whenever you're listening to this, comment one thing you are calling into your life now. What is one thing that you are calling into your life now? And I also want you to also put that in the comment section. But I want you to comment one thing that you are calling into your life now. Me, elevate, 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 elevate. So hence the reason I'm putting my money where the mouth is, where my mouth is. Y'all see, I got slides for y'all tonight. I no longer can tell myself I'm intimidated by technology and I don't know. I just want to sit down and talk and I want somebody else to do. I got to stop that. So I'm not telling you anything. I am going to lead by example, walk the walk, talk the talk. I see you guys. No, 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 no. You don't get to write power and purpose. That's my word, Christine. No, you don't get to say that. You have to put something. You have to put something in there. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Roz, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Your spirit guides is saying not let you get away with that one. Not let you get away with that one either. I'm about to call y'all out. Enlightened being, there we go. Confidence and trust in my higher self. Now we talking. Now we talking financial freedom. Now we're talking. Brenda says, I'm calling in being fully and truly myself and my family. Brenda, I don't know, Brenda. One of your spirit guides jumped up when you said that. I don't know, Brenda. You might need to go. You might need to go. You might need to go a little. I'm just gonna push you a little bit. Just go a little deeper. Just go a little deeper. Healing pools of love. Mm-mm. Maintaining the mastery of me. No, no, no. That was my word. I need your word. I need your word. Kimberly, success and abundance. Kimberly. No, no, no. I'm just calling out the people. The guides are calling out, saying, don't let them get away with that. Nope. Need to go a little deeper. Let's see. Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie. You need to trust your intuition because you are a true clairaudience. You hear things and it's clear. You keep letting your mind talk you out of it. Uh-huh. King Low Fitness. King Low Fitness. You got to go a little deeper. King No Fitness. You got to go a little deeper. Please, 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 y'all. Please, y'all. Please, y'all. Go a little deeper. Go a little deeper. Danica says staying away from being butt naked and afraid. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. I am calling into my life my self-focus and trust, self-trust, shouting love to myself from deep within. Ashley, I know it's your birthday. Happy born day. Mm, mm. I don't know. I'm going to sit with that. I might have to give you milk and cookies. I might have to sit with milk and cookies. I might have to. I'm calling in walking in the fullness of who I am unapologetically. Only if you can show up with a name and not NS. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Graphic arts fearlessness. No, no. No, you need to come up with another one. Your guides are saying no. Paige says a loving, kind, spiritual, secure husband. Paige, baby girl, Ms.Blue don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to hold that. You can put that on your manifesto page. But I need to know what you are calling into your life. Now, listen. I'm not saying you can't go for that, but I need you to call something in your life, and then you ain't got to worry about a loving, kind, spiritual, secure husband. Because who else is going to come for you? But I want you to take a step back, and I want you to focus on Paige. By the way, Paige, you got some forgiving to do, and you know who you need to forgive. And you need to let that go so you can call in some new. So there we go. There we go. Christine, you said, I love the affirmations, but you never gave a new one. Kismet, business success. Nope. We need another one. I walk in my self-mastery. Miss Jasper music. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Rosalind said, thank you so much, Ms.Blue. I am new. That rhymes. I have self worth, and therefore I am the currency generator I was meant to be. That's a beautiful statement. I mean, I don't know if you understood the assignment, but you don't have to do it. If y'all don't want to do it, listen, I don't want nobody walking away trying to say Ms.Blue is over here trying to get at people. I'm not doing that, but that's okay. This deserves more than a like. So get the likes up. I know that's right. My art. No, that's not going to work, King Low Fitness. But I mean, if you want to hold on to that, hold on to that. Okay. Maybe listen, it's okay. It's okay. Brent, see what Brenda said? Oh, okay. I'll do a little deeper. It's not that what y'all are saying can't go on your manifesto. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Trusting myself. Soul moon, soul sun, moon 13. I'm gonna let you go because that's true. You need to call in trusting yourself. Nicole Woods, financially stable and disciplined and authenticity. That's great. I want you to define that with values. What does it mean to you? Miss Rich, self-love and stability. I am calling it in. That's good. I want you to write that out. That's a great one for you. Calling in friends and community for myself and my daughter. No, that's not going to work for you. Obaya. No, that's not going to work for you. You can put it on your manifesto list, but I just want you to have something greater. Trusting my intuition and making more space for the new. Priestess Donna Lee. You trust your intuition. And you make plenty of space for new things. I want you to go a little deeper. Just a little deeper. I mean, if y'all don't want to participate, it's okay. Those of you who are participating, great, wonderful. There's a lot I want to call in. Visibility. Nope. Because it has to do with you, Christine. In my purpose. I don't know what that means. I'm calling in my purpose. Princess Lady, tell me how you're going to call it in, because your guides got the standing up when you said that. I have a clean space intentionally and externally, making myself a perfect vessel for currency to flow through. Thank you, Roz. That's beautiful. There you go. All right. I am calling in taking care of my health and body. Brenda, you take care of your health and body better than anybody I know, darling. You should be out here teaching other people how to do it. So let's call in something else. Chloe, staying in the highest frequency possible. So, no, that's my word, Chloe. Y'all, let me tell y'all what y'all not gonna do. Y'all not gonna, you know how in school they make you cite your work? You can't take Ms. Blue's words and give them back to me and say that's what you're doing. Ain't you a grad student? You, you can't do that. I want you to tell me what you calling in. Be bold enough. Remember, that's it. Be bold enough. Be bold enough to call it in. We're still in this portal. Let me go back to Divine Tish. Working on trusting my intuition. Nope, you can't work on it. You can't work on it. Now you can say trusting my intuition, or I'm calling in trusting my intuition, but you can't work on it. Because you're going to have to align and do. So, Boss Lady Dominique, I am calling self-love and trusting my higher self. Yeah. I can see that in alignment with you. I can see that. Swerve, Dadan, I can do anything I put my mind to. Uh, uh, I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, that is a 3. And I'm going to need you to come out of an affirmation and what you're actually calling in. Because you done said this statement to yourself a lot of times, and sometimes it worked very well for you, and other times it hasn't. So I'm going to say that you can put that on your manifesto, but I would love for you, if you want some spiritual counsel from Ms.Blue, and I get it if you don't, right? I would say go a little deeper, go a little deeper. Yeah, he did say practice. Sheena says authenticity, prosperity, confidence, being in the right relationship with myself and others, my finance, and being the star that I know that I am. I'm gonna let you have that. Yeah, I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna let you have that. Being being the creative force of my own destiny. Andrew, that's good. That's really, really good. Really good, Andrew. I'm feeling that for you, Andrew. Kenny says a successful workflow and staying in my highest. That's good for you. Although, Kenny, you can be a workaholic. You could really, really be a workaholic. And so, what I'm going to challenge you with is when you say a successful workflow, I want you to take that word successful and I want you to define it, because I don't want you to wrap all of your success in the outcome of your workflow. Does that make sense? I want you to get more into Kenny. And, you're such a visionary, but you won't allow, because of your perfection tendencies, you don't allow your visions to live. Often you kill them before they take flight. I literally see a closet with like a whole bunch of shit in it, and books and papers. You scribbled things down and you wrote things on, and you just have never done anything with it because you felt it wasn't good enough. And I need you to step back, because you're an artist, step back out of your creative artistry and give your offering to the people and let them decide. And you just focus on having a good time on your creations and not being so stressed out. Even though I think a part of you being stressed out kind of activates you, but I want you to bring more joy and not caring too much about what everyone has to say about your work. Okay. Okay. Infinite, everything that I need is within. Listen, brother, that's hashtag facts. That's hashtag facts. But the question was, what are you calling in? I understand what you know, but are you calling anything in? Because this is about that new. So maybe you don't want to share what you're calling in. So I'm going to let you have that. But go a little deeper. Hollis, body, mind, and soul in complete balance. Okay. Okay, I'm going to let you have that because your guides just told me that you have been off the fucking rails. So this is good for you. Your spirit guide said you have been straight wilding out, a little bit of crashing out at times. So this is good. This is really good. I'm gonna let you have that. Brittany Vise, I am calling in more confidence and structure. Your guides say, yep. Your guides say, yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. Cynthia McKinney. Let's see. Stop being in fear of trusting myself. To shall. Stop being in fear of trusting myself. I want you to use some different words because if I look at my transcript, I use that word. And you can't use my word to answer the question. I want you to use your word to answer the question. All right. All right. Oh, here we go. King Low Fitness. King Low Fitness said the art of King's Low. Okay. Okay. I'm going to let you have that since you came back a little bold. Kimberly Montgomery says focus and creativity. That's what I'm calling in. Kimberly, I'm going to need you to call in. Go a little deeper. Just go a little deeper. Just go a little deeper. hmm Just go a little deeper. Griffin said, I am calling in real love for myself and know what it feels like for me. It's time to value myself and live like I know it, Griffin. You did a great job of remixing my words. So I'm going to need you to find your words and I'm going to need you to go a little deeper because you know how to love yourself. Go a little deeper. Go a little deeper, go a little deeper. Here you go again, Marissa. I'm going to put you on blast. Marissa said, I'm getting flashbacks of the teacher smacking my hand with a ruler. Well, listen here, baby girl. Ms.Blue is not smacking your hand with a ruler. But I'm going to tell you this. If you came over here and you want to do the work, do the work. If you don't want to do the work, we going to love you. We going to laugh at your jokes and we going to keep on moving. So it's up to you. You certainly, I don't want nobody to think I'm smacking hands over here. I ain't smacking hands. I'm really, I'm really helping those that want to get in line with their soul so we can get on this soul train and do what we need to do. hmm I can do anything I put my mind to. I'm still going to give you a 3. I'm going to need you to go a little deeper. I'm going to need you to go a little deeper. And let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, I'm giving milk and cookies. If you could do anything you put your mind to it, then ask yourself this question. Why haven't you done it? If you can do anything you put your mind to, and your words, not mine, why haven't you done it? And when you can answer that question, it's going to take you a little deeper, a little deeper. Let's go here. The Neely experience, I am calling in enrich health and wellness into my life. Hmm. Your guides are making me look at that word enriched, health and wellness. I understand what you mean. You're already healing, and I know what you're talking about. You're healing already. Uh, I don't want you to focus so much on it because you've come a long way. You've come such a long way and you've overcome so much. And I need you to claim what has already been done because that's what's going to elevate you to the next level of it. Because I'm calling in enriched health and healing like so much. You know, when something is enriched, it means it's almost too much. And so I want you to just look at the words you're using and really just ask yourself, have I really given myself, have I really been in gratitude of how far I've come, how much I have healed, how much my wellness in my life is already in existence, in operation, and that is working? Have you really taken that in? And I want you to just think about it because when something is rich, it's an overabundance of it. Why would you need an overabundance of health and wellness? Why? Why would you need an overabundance of it? I just want you to think about the words. I know you spoke from your hearts. Your guides are telling me that. And I have a few of your ancestors telling me that. But I feel like you've done so much. You have by all intents and purposes experienced a few miracles already. And there is more to come. But I don't feel like you're giving yourself the acknowledgement, the value, the credit for what you know, what you have done, how much you have shared with others about your journey, your life, and your path. I don't feel like I feel like you're doing that, and you're just giving and giving and giving. And I need you to be ready to be open to receive and to recognize that you are healed and you do have wellness in your life. This is what's going to elevate you, to recognize where you've been, where you've gone, where you're at, and moving yourself forward in that way. Yeah. Yeah. I am mastering self mastery. Those are, maybe you're just repeating my words because you can't use my words unless you quote me, especially not here. Brenda, releasing anxiety around stability and being stable in my mind and my journey. Reword that, because you just told me what you don't want. And I'm asking you, what are you calling in, not what you want to release. So the way that you're answering, if you guys look at it, the universe is speaking to you. You are getting your activation now, and you will be able to see where you can align this better for yourself, because I want you to do this with all of your manifesto, Liz, so you can be very, very clear. This is how I get very, very clear on the things. So that's what I want you to do. Lavish, intuition, forwarding action, self discipline, self love, confidence, trust in my divinity, and ascension. Those are all beautiful fluff, 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 fluff words. I want to hear the creative in you to express it in a tone that has your DNA written on it, if you want to share it here, and share one thing. Because remember, y'all, I asked y'all one thing that you would be calling in. Y'all are giving me a lot, and I love that. I think this is how we get things going. Maybe if this is something y'all like, we can do a live workshop on some of these things where we work through it. Those of you who have been in self-invested, y'all understand the fire that comes with it, but the growth that has also come with doing work this kind of way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I got. All right. Octavia, financially stable, financial freedom, being comfortable, being preserved, or maybe observed. I don't think you meant to be preserved by massive amounts of people. Maybe observed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, to surface. I get it. You want to be financially stable. Uh, you want to have freedom. These are all things that come from within. I want you to look deep within and think about, what do you really need to call in within you? That can be on your manifesto list when you write it, but what do you need to call in within you? Okay, we got a few more minutes, you guys. Let's see. Eric says next level of self-love and stability. Eric, I'm gonna give you a 3. I'm gonna give you a 3. Mm-hmm. Somebody said beautiful at Brenda. All right, Danica. On a real note, embracing me inside out, learning and loving power. Yeah, you need that, Danica. Yeah, that's real. Embracing you inside and out and not being afraid of your power, learning and loving power. Right. Not someone else's power, your power. Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. Cornell, know myself and being more forgiving. That is actually perfectly in alignment for you. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, Christine, let's see. Letting go of the fear of being seen, calling in safety of visibility, and sharing my voice. Imagine that. See what happens? We go a little deeper and we get some real shit. We get some real magic. We doing some real occult science work, real work. Yeah, because now you're getting down to the nitty gritty of what's holding you back. What's holding you back? Uh-huh. 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 Let's see. Confidence in being who I am 100%, forgiving myself for not being who and where I felt I should be in life. There you look at graphic. Look at graphic arts coming back with the big one. That's powerful. That is powerful. Oh, I think y'all are getting it now. Y'all are getting it. Bridget B., I'm calling in completing my goals. Now, Bridget, you complete a lot of goals, Bridget. I'm going to have to give you a 3. I'm going to need you to try again. Bridget completes a lot of goals. You've done a lot. I want you to go a little deeper for me, Bridget. I'm telling you, you'll find not just goals, but goal of going a little deeper because you know how to complete your goals when it is something that you really want to do. Chloe, let's see. Calling in being more considerate with myself and being more understanding. I'm going to let you go with that. I'm going to let you go with that. If considerate is your word, I'm going to let you go with that, Chloe. Calling and being more considerate. Yeah. And being more understanding. Yes, because you have love and understanding for everyone. Ooh, we bless your sweet little heart, but I need you to have it for you. And I guarantee you it will 10x everything in your life. That love that you give to everyone who comes in your presence, that is just around your aura, Chloe, that even sees you and know who you are. They know that Chloe gonna give them some love and give them some good words, give them a good workout, give them some information. I need you to be that way with yourself. So yes, 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 yes. NS was short for nuff, said, I'm calling in no longer being comfortable, being behind the scenes. Look at Cassandra. Y'all better give it up for Cassandra. Y'all better give it up for Cassandra. Y'all better give it up for Cassandra. I'm going to jump around here. Oh, Maria, you know, I want to read this one. I am calling in self-love for myself and doing actions in creating thoughts that are in align with self-respect and integrity. I'm only going to let you go with this, Maria, even though I know you did a remix on my words, but I know you really gave this some thought. And I know this is going to be on your manifesto list and you will become a master. So let's give it up for Maria. Let's give it up. All right, Griffin, let's see. I am calling in being able to travel and being able to afford it without even worrying about how much it costs. I want to go to Mexico. I have the ability to do it. Let me tell you something. Um, I'm gonna give you some magic to work with this statement. The first statement should be, I am calling in that I have the ability to travel without worry, to go to places I've never been, like Mexico. And the reason I'm going to tell you this is because too much of this energy here, Griffin, is about what you're not able to do. And I want you to focus on, remember, we're talking about the highest intention of what you're calling in. By the way, did I say one thing? I did. But I want you to call that in. Amira. Did I say Amira? Listen and let go. I'm calling in listening and letting go. I understand what you mean. I understand you may not want to put it all here, but I'm going to need you to go a little deeper. Ms.Blue going to need you to go a little deeper. What do you mean listen? Listen to who? Listen to who? Who you listening to? Who you listening to? You listening to yourself? Who you listening to? The people around you? Who you calling in to listen? Because this sounds like almost some mother telling you, didn't I tell you to listen to me? No, 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 no. I want you to focus on you. And I want you to call in your highest intention for yourself. And it's certainly not listening and letting go. It's not that. You may be doing that in the process, but I want you to call in. Give me that, your highest intention of what you're calling in for yourself. We have to reverse engineer this and start focusing on what we're calling in and not what we don't want to call in. Not that I'm telling you not to call in listening and letting go, because that's certainly a part of the process. But if I can call in my highest intention for me, one of them, with clarity, be crystal clear on that, then I can eliminate the listening and letting go, because that's going to become a natural part of the process. Does that make sense? That will become a natural part. Uh, that will become mhm, mhm, a natural part of the process. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna let you work with that. I'm gonna let you work with that. Michelle says, calling in courage to take action on my goals and trust my intuition. Yes, I'm gonna let you. The difference, you're calling in courage. And you're just giving us insight that courage is going to be to take action on your goals. You're calling in trust to trust your intuition. And baby, Michelle has a intuition that's like a red eye laser. You know how in a gun, when they have the red laser and they can put that dot on you, or if you've ever been in a presentation and they shine that bright light, that little light on you, that's how her intuition is. That's spot on. So I'm gonna let you. Drea Yasa Allenbeck said, I missed the assignment. It's okay. You can download. It's okay. We're going to take a few more. Angela says, staying aligned with my higher self and tapping into my spiritual gifts that I have forgotten. So you are calling in alignment to stay in align with your higher self. Mm, mm. First of all, I don't believe that last statement tapping into my spiritual gifts that I have forgotten. You haven't forgotten them. They're there. So don't put a lie on there. You know what your spiritual gifts are. So slash that off and just kind of go a little deeper on staying in the line with my higher self. You don't have to go deeper here, but I want you to go deeper with yourself about what that means, because we have begun to take these very, very spiritual turns and we've neutralized them so much till it doesn't move past our conscious mind, our ego mind. It stops. And I want you to write something that is so connected to your spiritual DNA of who you are. And I know you can do that. I know you can do that. Ra says, I love this. Thank you. I am calling in wherewithal, transparency, accountability to see where I'm in my own way and get the fuck out of it. Although I love that, Roz, you already know where it is. By the way, you already gave a statement and it was good and you needed to go. If you don't think you're in your own way, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You think you're in your own way? Or do you think you may just don't know which way to go? Because there's a difference between standing in your own way and just not sure which way to go. So this is not a beat down section. It's not me smacking you on the hands, as Maria said. I just want us to go beneath the surface. And I understand sometimes that can be a little difficult. It can be a little challenging because we romanticize spiritual language. It is the hottest, most sexiest, most viral language on the planet. You will see everyone. Celebrities are now saying it. People who don't know nothing about nothing are coming out with books and they're scalping the internet from all of you gorgeous spiritual beings who have been putting your heart, soul, and work and stuff on the internet, myself included. They're sitting in their beds listening to it and they're coming out with a book, and then they're showing up on Oprah or they're showing up on these shows and they're saying, I had this realization that came out of nowhere and yada, 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 yada. And I'm not saying some of that is not real, but a lot of it is bullshit and we all know it. And this is why I want you to go a little deeper to something that is solely connected with you. Because when you give it that kind of thought, and you deserve that kind of love and that kind of care, you are very accountable, Roz. You are very transparent. Sometimes I look at your IG and think you're too transparent, but that's just me speaking, right? So if I had to be someone to give you spiritual counsel looking from the outside in as someone who love you, I would say those are not your issues. You have no issue in being transparent. You have no issue in being accountable. And you're not in your way. I think if there's a point for you to look, is to find, are you being guided? Are you being led in a different way? And maybe, just maybe, that might be what you're feeling. But I get the humorism in the get the fuck out of it, to get out your own way. But the only way we get out of our own way is to go within, and not to destroy ourselves, but really to look as if a friend was coming to you and saying, Roz, help me. You have assisted, you have worked with, you have dedicated your life to, assisting others and being their great self, knowing what they're capable of, really giving them that inspiration to keep going when they want to give up. So you don't have a problem with accountability, transparency. That's not your issue. But you're free to see it how you see it. I just want to give you that because I don't want you to walk away with that. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to walk away with that because that's not what I'm doing. And if that's what you guys are feeling, I already told you why you're feeling that. Because you're close to yourself and it's just a part of yourself that you have not allowed yourself to go in, and it could be some very, very, very good reasons as to why. Monique says, I am calling self-love, walking boldly as my authentic self, and financial freedom. You are calling in. I am calling in self-love. Monique, I'm going to have to give you a 3. You have self-love. You are walking boldly. You are your authentic self. And you do have financial freedom. Now, it may not be as much as you want, but you have financial freedom. I'm going to need you to go a little deeper. I'm sorry. Ms.Blue ain't letting us get away with shit. You are so welcome. You are so welcome, Cassandra. Mm-hmm. Roy C says, is this Roy from back in the day? Roy said, get out of my basement, to get out of my basement and live on my yacht. Those are amazing first world problems to have, Roy. Those are amazing first world problems to have. But I want you to think about what you're calling in, because what is stopping you? What do you think? Go a little deeper, dig a little deeper, and you will see what is underneath that, that is there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, Griffin, no milk and cookies. I gave you some milk and cookies tonight. I really did. Lisa J says, the courage to take action. Your guides were jumping up and down, Lisa. This is perfect for you. Perfect for you. Taylor says, financial increase through ease and integrity. Taylor, you can put that on your manifesto, but Taylor, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. That can't be what you're calling in. I want you to go a little deeper, Taylor. I want you to go a little deeper, and you will get that finance through ease and integrity. You got so much integrity. It's almost, you have integrity, and you are doing this through ease. Finance is not your challenge. You think it's your challenge. I want you to go a little deeper. I'm going to have to, Taylor. I'm going to have to give you a 4. You're going to get a 4, Taylor. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Taylor. This may be your first time talking to me, but you get a 4. Let me see. The commitment and follow through needed for the vision I saw years ago and currently seeing glimpses of again as I walk back to myself. So what are you calling in? You're calling in that vision. I want you to take it beyond the vision. And what is it? And then I want you to think about your connection to it. Your connection. Is this something that brings you joy, that lights you up, that you get excited about it? I want you to think about all of those things, Belle. I want you to think about all of those things before you say you want to commit to it. I know you really love it because it's a vision that you had for yourself. You say, as I currently see glimmers of, again, as I walk back to myself. So I would reverse engineer this, and I want you to start with yourself because everything has to start from the inside out. Griffin, closed mouth, don't get fed. What happened, Griffin? Kimberly said, I call in my inheritance and creativity to build a stability in my life. As much as I love that statement, as much as I think it can be a powerful activation statement, I'm still going to give you, I'm still going to give you a 3, Kimberly, because where are you at? Inheritance is something someone else gave you. I want to know what you're calling in, and it can't be something from someone else. What are you calling in? You have power inside of you. You are so talented. You are so gifted. You are so committed and so compassionate, so loving and so caring. You are so creative. What are you calling in? What are you calling in? I want you to think about that. What are you calling in? Your highest good. What are you calling in for Kimberly? If all of your needs were met in the physical world, and here's something we all can take away. If everything you had was met in the physical world, and sit with yourself in the moment and know that everything that you have in your physical world, every material thing has been met to the max, but you still feel the way you do. What would you be calling in for you? What would you be calling in for you? Because it's deeper than that. Remember, we generate everything from the inside out. I cannot press that upon you guys. This has been a game changer in my life. And I could sit here and I could let y'all say these statements that sound really good, but it's not really touching your soul in a way that really ignites you. And I get it. I get it. Some of you may not feel comfortable expressing it here, but I want you to do this on your own. And especially over the next 4 hours, because we have a powerful golden archway that we can harness it. And if you can get that statement and do this for me, ignore me, ignore me. Go what feels right for you. If it feels like it's right for you, and this is some shit you ain't never told yourself before, and or you told or you have never told yourself this before ever in your life, you've never heard those words and you're saying it now, and it's the first time you've ever said it, go with it. Ignore me. Ignore me. If you've never entertained any of these subjects before, the reason I'm telling you that, because if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're only going to get what you've been getting. And so, what I'm asking you to do, because I know that you're capable, is to go deeper within yourself, not to destroy yourself, but to heal yourself, but to love yourself. To love yourself. I forgot. Look what I did. I'm gonna have to put that on there. I left title up there because I was writing my notes. Speak it into existence. The power is already yours. We all know that, but there's action steps that have to go with that power. There is truth that must meet that power for it to become activated. If there is no truth in it, and truth comes from the spirit, it doesn't come from the mind. It comes from the spirit. It is something deep inside of you. And everybody knows what that is for them in their life. And it's going to look different, unique for all of us. We know what that is. We know what that is. We know exactly what that is. And so most of these sayings, these words that you guys are repeating are things you've told yourself before. Use that and start going deeper, layer by layer by layer by layer. And you will get to the root of what it is that you really need to call in. Do you need to call in that you're finally over that pain from your childhood? Do you need to call in that you have healed from these bad decisions that you've made? Do you really need to call in that you need to be more open for help, asking for help? Do you need to call in that you've got to know that you have power and purpose inside of you? You're not a victim. And look at what area of your life that is calling you to call that in. Elnora said, focused intentions and better expression of love. See, I disagree. I would give her a 3 because this sister is very focused. I've been knowing her for a minute. And I don't know, no, she loves in a way that I don't know if I can ever in this lifetime have a better way of expressing love. That ain't it. I mean, I'm just saying. I know y'all like, damn, Ms.Blue. Well, what is it? Well, we may not have enough time in this one exercise to go through this. I don't have enough time. Y'all got to pay me for this shit. Y'all got to pay me. Listen, y'all got to pay me or we got to break this up into some classes for the rest of the year, but y'all ain't going to keep me on here and have me miss my hours. I can't miss my hours because y'all want to be on the surface. I need y'all. I need y'all to get into it. And y'all are getting into it. Y'all are really getting into it. Y'all are getting into it. Look at this. Look at you guys. Look at you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Meanwhile, can I call in some likes? Can I call in some comments? Yeah. Roz says, thank you for this activation, Miss Blue. I've been feeling really emotional. I have literally been begging for the old me to flee. The old me is gone. Let her go. She's gone. You have done the work. Let her go. Remember in the beginning of the show, I told you guys, you have no ID right now. So everything that comes in front of you is just memories. Respect it, love it, have compassion for it, honor it. You didn't get your new ID yet. It's on the way. You're fighting a battle that's already been won. Let her go. She's gone. She doesn't exist. But if you keep fucking with her, she gonna come back. It's like being in an unhealthy relationship with somebody. You fight, you break up, then you kiss and you make up. You fight, you break up, you kiss and you make up. You fight and you break up. No, it's over. It's okay. It was wonderful while it lasted. There's some beautiful parts. There's some parts that we don't want no more. There's some decisions we made that weren't good. Who was that? Let me go back. Breaking the chains, faithful of freedom. I'm calling in abundance on every level. I need you to go deeper than that. You got abundance? What are you talking about? You help other people get abundance. This is what I'm saying. You know what? Let me stop. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. It's me. Maybe I need to call in and not be real. Maybe I need to just keep it on the surface. maybe maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I just need to keep it on the surface. Pipe down, Blue. Pipe down. I gotta pipe down. I gotta pipe down. I just want us all to tap into this frequency that's here. But let me pipe down. Let me pipe down. If that is working, let's let's go. Listen, if that is working, if that is working, if that is working for you, behoove me to take you off your path. Don't let me do it. Mhm. Mhm. You already got to go healing. Some of y'all writing 2, 3, so I love it. I love it. I love it. Some of y'all right in pure feminine said, "Why my God?" Oh, your guides are all jumping up and down. You guys' guides are jumping up and down. Listen, you are so welcome, Roz. You are so welcome. You on that master list now. You are on that master list. And forgive me, you guys, I'm a little late. I want to call in a little cute chocolate chick from across the street next. You know what, Dre? All right, Dre. Call her in, but don't come back over here telling us what done happened was don't Lavish said, gratitude, Miss Blue. I needed to hear it straight, no chaser. I'm just telling you, you if listen, you guys, I know y'all can do this. Y'all are doing this. Y'all help people do this. Sometimes the best thing to do is to sit down like you're speaking to your best friend or someone who loves you. You know, you felt the old me leave, anticipating the divine me. Beautiful. See what had happened. Yeah, Dre, you let us know about that chocolate bunny. Let us know how that worked out for you. Let us know. Let us know. Thank you, Tish. Tish said this was a powerful exercise. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. I have been up here for 3 hours. We got about 3.5 hours to get into this activation window. I want you, no matter what day, what night it is in the world, I want you to definitely know that, excuse me, I want you to definitely take some time. And even if you just put one thing on the list, no one has to read it, no one has to see it. It's for you and your soul. Put one thing on the list. If you could call it in, just make sure it connects you with your heart and your soul. Yeah, just one thing. Yeah. Being able to help others is, if you find that it's so easy, if you find that it's so easy for you to be able to help other people, but you challenge to uh, help yourself, that's a sign that you were here as a healer, as a teacher, because that's our work, to be able to get over, if that makes sense. One of the things I learned very early in my journey is that the work that I so desperately wanted to do for the world, change the world, I just wanted to help people, and I still do. Love people, help people, is what I needed to learn for myself. And so, literally, I have grown up. I am growing up on planet Earth with you guys. I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm doing the work for myself as well too. And I want you all to know that because you could be doing the work on yourself, loving yourself, understanding yourself. Make sure that you know the work you're giving to others, that you're giving it to yourself, that you're giving it to yourself. You need that work too. It is coming to you for that reason, you know? And I get it about calling in life partners. You guys can put all of those things um, on your manifesto list, but you got to know it has to start with you. That relationship you want. How well are you loving you? How well are you taking care of you? Just check in. I'm not saying you're not doing that. It's a very natural thing to want to be in a healthy, loving relationship. But how well are you doing that for you? Because anytime you feel you're in lack of something, you push it further away, not closer to you. This is science. This is physics. This is universal. This is spiritual. Whenever you see there is a separation in something, you're pushing it away. You're not pulling it close. So take these things in. This is the time, and trust me on this alignment. I study astrology, but I work more in the Akashic records and more with the energy in the field. And I don't want to be one of those people that tell you, yes, we're living in powerful times and it's always something magnificent going on. But if we can't decode it and bring it down here to earth to turn it into our heaven, quote unquote, meaning our joy, our expansion, right? Then what good is it? What good is this knowledge? What good is this higher science of understanding if we cannot alchemize, do the alchemy with this work and integrate it in our lives to make our lives better, more fulfilling, filled with joy? Joy is, it's not an emotion. Joy is not an emotion. It's what's the word I'm looking for here? Joy is it's a frequency. It's a force. That's what joy is. Joy is a force. If you think that joy is something, it's in you. Yes, the force of joy is in you, but it's not based on your emotions. It's a force. So you can always find joy because it is a force that is available to everyone. It's a force. So you connect with that force of joy. And then you can have it, but it's not. If you look for joy in your emotions, when you're sad, you won't have it. When you're angry, you won't have it. When you're upset, you won't have it. When you're frustrated, you won't have it. When you're tired, you won't have it. It's a force. So you have to stay connected to the force. May the force be with you. That's joy. That's what they were talking about in Star Wars. May the force be with you. That's joy. Connect with it. If you don't have it, connect with the force. The universe has a master plan, and this is your moment. It does have a lot to do with Pluto and Uranus and the shifts. This is the time for massive breakthroughs. The collective energy on the planet is rising. We know the numerology of this eclipse that is coming in. It is a manifesto, a manifestation portal. This is a divine initiation for you to step into your power with force. With force. Step in it. Step in it with your force. And everything will change. Matter of fact, everything is changing. Nothing as we know it will be the same. And that's a good thing. The shift is happening now. You have to claim your power now. Claim your power. Claim your power. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle. I love you all so very, very much. I love you all so much. This has been a joy. Please share your comments down below. If you are here to the end, then I want you to tell me how you're claiming your power. And on this one with the comments, leave one word. Leave one word. And you can also share your highlights. Hey, Priestess Erica, I didn't see you. Share your highlights from the share, your takeaways and your highlights. Let me know what you all think. We are in this together. I am committed to showing up and being my very, very best self, walking through this portal and evolving and us getting the work. The futuristic activation is still available for those of you who want to jump in. It's amazing. We're still in first quarter. We'll be having our second meeting of the year coming up here soon. So if you all want to go to the Pay Hit page, I want to say thank you to the moderators, Lola Falana. Thank you to the moderators, Mr. Dante, who was here tonight, sending love to Brother Lance as well. And to all of you stars who are in the building. And if you all have questions, please put the questions in the comments. I definitely will be getting to them. May the force be with me. I will be getting to them soon. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making it do what it do. Because I got a little force. I got the force with me. Michael Jackson just had his born day. Well, did he have a born day? Something came up with Mike the other day. Mike came to me the other day. Well, anyway, I didn't go look up the date or anything, but Mike was singing that song about the force. You know, it's the power, it's that force. That's joy. That's joy. You're welcome, Maria. You are welcome to everyone. Love you, Mr. Dante. Thank you so much for being enlightened, being confident, sending you so much love. You guys make sure you come back and comment afterwards. I have been getting your emails. I am a little behind, but don't worry. I got my manifesto and I will be writing in my manifesto and putting, yeah, so it wasn't his born day. I didn't think it was his born day. Somebody was trying to tell me something else, but that wasn't it. Yeah, Mike is a Virgo. I forgot he is a Virgo. He is a Virgo. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for that, Priestess Donna Lee. She said it's 1:11. Oh, we on the clock. Y'all, there you go. 111. What that mean, y'all? What does that mean? 111. That's right. We are in alignment. I don't know about you, but I'm about to get fully activated. Peace and love. Ciao.